The Nerdgasm Talk podcast is brought to you by Spaces Philly. If you love podcasts, go to spacesphilly.com where you can check out Lulu and Pop, Both Sides, Turntables, Jump Thought Super Tongue, and the Nerd Coalition's very own No Gimmicks Needed. Visit spacesphilly.com today. And now, feel the Nerdgasm.
Let's get into the movie. I'm going to try to go scene by scene as best as I can.
I don't think
Okay.
Frame for frame.
Oh, you don't want to go scene by scene?
Well, because it depends on how the conversation goes. I'm about to say, unless you had like bullet points of what on top of what you want to talk about. Do you remember? I don't remember scene by scene.
I don't remember scene by scene either.
I remember the flow of the movie, the flow of the plot.
Yeah, but I'm saying like scene by scene. I mean, you talk about pros like Peter, Zendaya and them, the villains coming, the Spiderman.
I wasn't like, how could I put it scene by scene? It was going chronologically through the movie and then pointing out the big parts of it.
Okay, well there you go.
All right, so we start out the movie directly from the post-credit scenes of Far From Home, where Mysterio reveals that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. This was a quite anxiety-inducing scene, seeing Peter Parker frantic, running around the whole city, trying to get away. I'm trying to figure.
It created anxiety quickly because it jumped right into it.
Right.
You get thrown back in.
Right. Part of me
you get thrown right back out.
Part of me wishes it was longer though.
Thank you.
Like I was like, this scene would just felt too quick with him running away, and just to get to his house, his apartment, and then we have the helicopters outside, and he's telling Aunt May and Happy that yes, I am Spider-Man. Then we get the cops coming into his house, putting everyone on trial. I thought this was a great introduction scene to slightly introduce every character that for newcomers that didn't see this movie. I think MJ had the best quote unquote introduction in this scene, but Ned also shined out to me. And honestly, I'm gonna say it. Ned is probably the weakest character in this film. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. Ned is not the weakest character.
I would not say that.
Out of the main cast, I would say Ned is probably the weakest out of them. But he had a great introduction scene where he just told all the information. Then we get back to his apartment, and we get to see Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil, being played by no other than Charlie Cox from the Netflix series.
Theater broke.
My audience was loud.
Yeah, I saw it in the city, so you know they were loud. This is a good week for Daredevil, by the way. I just want to say that.
Daredevil.
This is a great week for Daredevil. I'm very happy Charlie Cox is back, and I'm a little scared on how Marvel's going to do him in the future. I don't think he's going to have his own stuff. I think he's going to be more of cameos and other things.
Yes, I see it, man.
I'm gonna say I think because it's like how I think Kingpin's gonna show up more in Armor Wars, but you'll get cameos from Daredevil more as lawyers, so no one in MCU, but I also don't think it's gonna be the exact Daredevil that we got in Netflix. I think it is a variant.
Okay, that's fair. I can see that.
So that way Marvel can be like, we can do what we want with the character fully because they can just take and pick and choose what they want from the Netflix series that way.
Right. The continuity is going to be weird, so I hope they kind of explain it in depth in the future. And the next series I could really see him in is She-Hulk because she's a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only other series I could see him being a part of. And I think Echo. Someone's going to be an Echo, and I think it might be Daredevil. That would make sense for his character as well, for him to be in there. After we get that, that was pretty much the end of the whole Peter Parker is Spider-Man and the world's going crazy for it. Again, I wish this was, a little bit heavier on the plot. Because that was, like, the big ending in Far From Home was to the point where we had to wait it's almost like Empire Strikes Back, where we had to wait a couple years to find out the continuation of this, and they just wrapped it up real quick. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
No,
the wrapping up of it.
It became very much part of his normal day very quickly.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about it. I wish this was more.
Last time Mr. Andy asked something heavy, you know what I'm saying? I got castrated. And I'm just like, you know what? I gotta be sure. I don't know when to jump out at it. You know what I'm saying?
Castrated. Castrated.
Yeah, you can do it.
Castrated is crazy.
What, man? Look, when I was talking about the heavy stuff for Endgame, and when I was talking about, Mephisto for WandaVision, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, you know what? I'm obviously out of my league right now. But you know what? I agree with you. It need to be a little bit heavy. I was like, because they solved this whole thing. It felt like in almost 20 minutes.
Like, if that, it felt like 15. I was like, tag, all right.
So this is where we're moving on from. Okay, nope. Oh, sure. Let's go for the ride. Because if that was the case, I'm sorry, unpopular opinion here. If that was the case, I don't see what the point of bringing Matt Murdock in. What the point of bringing Matt Murdock in was for, other than get a cheap pop.
I think Matt Murdock.
I say crowd. That's it.
Got him out of it.
Yeah,
I think because that was the whole point of having Matt there. Because Matt's whole line about "I'm a damn good lawyer" is because he got Peter out of it.
But that should be shown.
Yeah, I think because we wanted the whole court trial and all that. That's what I was excited about.
I don't want an episode of Law and Order, but what I'm saying is I want him to say the heartbeat. I want him to know that, hey, Peter ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? Like there's gotta be more. There gotta be more weight and effective to this. And if you're gonna bring in, Marvel's one of Marvel's damn best lawyers and Daredevil at that, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm not expecting him to have a part. I'm just saying, but at least to try to in the background try to help him fight this case. And I felt as though I was like, okay, if they're not going to go about this case and it's going to be a whole thing of, I'm just going to go to Doctor Strange to go change this for me. They brought him in wrestling terms. They brought him in for a cheap pop.
I agree on that.
Which was just to get the crowd to say, oh my God, it's Netflix. And I'm just like, okay, but to me, I didn't say that in my non-spoiler review, but I was just like, I felt this was kind of wasted.
No, I agree with that. Because it, again, like pretty much, I'm just going to rehash what you said. It didn't feel necessary if this was going to be a plot that only lasts 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they also did it because they also wanted to tie it in with Hawkeye, with Kingpin being in there.
Yeah, it was the same week.
Yeah, so I guess it was just like, all right, look, we're confirming that Matt Murdock exists in our universe now. It was like, okay, cool, but like you said, there was no meaningful impact on that. After that, we get MJ, Ned, and Peter trying to apply for MIT all together so they can be in school together. They get their letters from MIT, and they all find out that because of the controversy of Spider-Man being Peter Parker, they are not accepting their applications. So Peter decides to go to Doctor Strange because he's like, look, this is all my fault that they can't get into the schools they want. Can you make it so that everyone forgets that I'm Peter Parker? Doctor Strange agrees to this, and then he starts to do the spell. However, Peter just like, oh, wait, before that, can we put some loopholes in here before that happens? After that, the spell starts to get crazy because Peter keeps on talking, and the spell goes out of control, and Doctor Strange had to contain it. Now, I like the misdirect of the trailers because I thought this was him saying, look, I want everyone to forget I'm Peter Parker because my life is going crazy. Whereas in the movie, he's like, I don't want them to be affected by me being Spider-Man.
Which is fair.
And honestly, that's probably, out of all the Spider-Man movies, I'll say this right at the back, out of all 3 of the Spider-Man movies, the home trilogy, this was probably the most Peter Parker Tom has been.
Yes.
Out of all of them.
Because it was the first time they got to focus on him being Peter Parker. Because everything that happened to him was like, this is an after effect of him being involved with Iron Man.
I agree. Yeah, I agree to that. And also, Peter was also too concerned about himself where In this movie, he's like, I don't care about me. I want to make sure they're good. And that's like the whole reason why he kept the mask on, because he wants to protect the people that he cares for. And this really showed that. And I'm like, thank God they got this now.
Because Homecoming, he was so wrapped up. He was like, well, I was just in Germany. I'm an Avenger now. Like, this and the third. So it was very much, he was very focused on, I'm part of something bigger.
Right.
And now that's not there.
Right. Exactly. Now, Peter talks to Doctor Strange after the spell was messed up. He said, you could have just talked to the administrator about this. He goes and finds the administrator on the bridge so he could talk Ned and MJ back into the school. And then we get our first villain appearance of Doc Ock, Alfred you say Molina. Yes, thank you. That was a great entrance. Even if we saw it in the trailer, I thought this was one of the greatest entrances in the movie.
Bro, out the gate though, like that's what got me. I'm like, okay, we jumping straight to the shits.
It still even though I saw it in the trailer, watching it in the theater still like made my heart jump.
It was just like, it's like, it's like you keep hearing about it and you know about it, and then you see it, it's like, yeah, it's here.
Yeah, it's here. I'm ready for it.
That's how it be when I listen to y'all do your spoiler review.
It's like
I go to the theater and it's like, oh snap, and I knew the whole movie.
Right.
Yeah, but we say that now, but you got to be real with yourself. If you did a study of people who don't know things and who do know things, the reaction is going to be different.
I agree with that. I'm having one of my friends watch all the Spider-Man movies, and they haven't seen any of the trailers for No Way Home. I'm like, watch the Spider-Man films, and then we're going to go see it, and I want to see I want to see your reaction.
And trust they'll stay off of social media.
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't follow anything nerd-like, so it's like they're going to be oblivious to it.
It depends, because TikTok's entire For You page. Let's talk about No Way Home. Let's talk about No Way Home.
Not mine. I literally got rid of Twitter just because I was afraid that somebody might spoil it. I was not playing. Facebook is trash.
I'll mention how I got spoiled later, but I sadly did get spoiled before the movie came out. The fight with Doc Ock was awesome.
It was good.
I'm gonna be honest. Oh, okay. My bad. Keep going.
No, I'm saying because I'm curious to see what you're gonna be honest, because it was good. But one thing this movie did lack, I was just like, okay, it's not heavy on the action like most previous Marvel movies are.
Right.
But if you're going to say like it was a good fight for how it lasted, but ain't gonna top that train.
Oh yeah, no. I wasn't not at all. That train fight with Doc Ock was. I still think that's like peak of like superhero fights. Like every time I went to a movie, I'm like, is it going to top this Spider-Man 2 train scene though?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, that whole train scene got Tobey Maguire Seabiscuit. Okay, so
Seabiscuit.
I don't know how you guys feel. I am tired of the Iron suit, the Iron Spider suit.
I was very happy at the end of the movie when when we got the new suit.
I wasn't even going to.
I
know, right? Yeah, I wasn't even going to go there.
I mean, look, I guess mentioned the suit.
That's why I see that you just jumped. You messing up the format. Like,
no, I didn't.
I know it's been a while, but damn, it's like
no. That's why I was very happy because like it's fresh because like the Iron suit is nanotechnology is getting boring.
Yes.
The Iron Spider suit is too Tony Stark, and it's like we got to get it from Tony Stark. And this is me saying this.
Right. And so I've said that to say I like what they did with the nano tech to disable his arms. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
That was genius.
It's a great way to use it.
I was like, that makes perfect sense on why the Iron Spider suit is away for a good while. So I love that part. I also like how he used the iron claws.
The iron, the kill mode.
Yeah. And use that to fight against Doc Ock. I thought that was cool. And then Doc Ock saying, oh, we got competition. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then it got me thinking of Superior Spider-Man where Doc Ock took over Peter's body and that was his suit with the claw. It was just like, oh man, this is great.
Also, this felt the most Spider-Man like fight for Tom because he's trying to save her at the same time. It felt like something out of a video game watching it because he's trying to save the emissions the
lady.
Yeah, at the same, but every time he keeps reaching for her, Doc Ock swings him away.
Right. I can agree with that. That do feel like a Spider. Like, yeah, I would say that do feel more Spider-Man than Tom has done.
Yeah.
In my memory, I can't think of any right this second, but I agree with that. After the fight, he disables Doc Ock, use his nanotechnology to wrap him up in his octopus arms, and then we get another Spidey Sense little visual, and you see the pumpkin bomb hits the ground, blows up cars, and Norman Osborn is flying in. That's another part where the crowd went wild because, I mean, honestly, course, everyone's going to go wild with.
We saw it for me. Doc Ock was just like, Osborn?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I don't think people really realize like, yeah, this man's gonna be dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of enjoyed that reaction, but then I was like, all right, he's here, and then I get the Doctor Strange ring, and then it turned me into a scene that personally I was like, I did not like the way they did it.
Why didn't you like it?
Well, one, I was like, this is Willem Dafoe. First off, this man deserves a great entrance, just as Alfred Molina does. And then we cut to Doctor Strange, who ends up kidnapping the Lizard. And I was just like, wait a minute. So we this movie showed Kevin Feige is like slightly petty. He showed that we don't like the Amazing Spider-Man. Because all their characters got an upgrade, and the way they were handled was just like he said, I want y'all to make fun of yourselves. The whole dialogue between Electro and Lizard was them making fun of themselves in the movie.
Yeah, well, did you hear Kevin Feige had a list of complaints for the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they Sony completely disregarded it?
I got a list of complaints too.
like they just completely no. I was like, what? Well, okay. Yeah, so right after that, we bring him into the Cave of Wonders or whatever it's called.
Cave of Wonders.
Call it the Cave of Wonders. You ain't just call it that.
Wonderland.
I couldn't think of the name. I couldn't think of the name right out the bat.
The Cave of Wonders. This man said the Cave of Wonders.
No, he called it a certain area when he was talking to the three MJ, Ned, and Peter.
It was involving a basement. It wasn't a Cave of Wonders.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't think of the name right out the bat, so I was just like, Cave of Wonders. Y'all know what the Cave of Wonders is. Like, we're not gonna act like I don't. We're not gonna act like I don't know what the Cave of Wonders is. So we bring him into the basement, and then we see not only Dr. Octopus imprisoned, but we see Lizard in prison, which I don't think anyone cared about. I'll say this about Lizard: it was no point of him being in this movie whatsoever.
Lizard was just there to give you the narration, like there'll be consequences. It's gonna be bad. And once everything started going sideways, he's like, "Haha, here it is.
Here we go."
And I just hate that because still his plot was resolved, and then he comes back and is like, "Well, I'm not changing."
I mean, so was basically everybody's plot.
Everybody died.
I died.
I think Doc Ock's redemption arc was better in this. Well, added to this, made it a lot better. Green Goblin's arc was still really good.
Doc Ock was, as a character, he was fine. It was the arms that were evil.
Right. Yeah. And him getting that redemption, I think, over the arms was needed.
I'm not gonna lie.
But he got that already.
He quote unquote got that, and then he came here and the arms are still in control.
Yeah.
So we got some continuity problems there.
There's a lot of continuity problems.
Because I think we're gonna the continuity thing you were talking about the knowing Peter Parker thing, but the continuity thing when they were all taken right before they all would have died. Mm-hmm. So when they were taken from their universe, they were peak evil. So that's why that's why the arm was still in control. That was why that was why Connors was still a lizard and so angry.
Okay, I could take that. I could accept that. I can accept that.
I have to.
Yeah, I can accept that. I can accept that. Hold on, you just made me
think it was gonna go left with Doc Ock though, but we'll get to that. I'll talk about it when we get.
You just made me think of something. I'll bring it back up when I think more about it. But you just made me think of something. Shorty B.
Okay.
After that, we had Peter say, "Look, I could get everyone back. I just need a team for it." So he brings Ned and MJ in, and Doctor Strange sends them into the Cave of Wonders so they can think of a plan to get everyone back.
You gonna keep calling it the Cave of Wonders? Huh?
Yep. Yes, I am. So,
oh man, okay.
They do a little bit more research and they find there's another person that's on the loose. And he said it was described as a flying monster. Peter goes after them.
Flying elf.
A what?
They called it a flying elf.
No, they said a monster. Peter described Green Goblin as a flying elf. Ned was talking about what he saw on social media. They said they saw a flying monster. And it's like, oh, it gotta be.
Yeah.
Swag,
okay.
Yeah, Swag's right.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
So, one, I didn't like that Spider-Man suit at first when I saw it in the trailers.
I didn't like it when I saw it in the toys.
I think seeing that the suit was inside out was just weird to me. Knowing that it was just that, I was like, okay, what was the point? Because I thought he was going to have like a electric-proof suit to fight Electro. That's why I envisioned. But
that's what I thought too.
Yeah, it was just
honestly,
it was just like nope, it's just inside out, and I was like, okay, that was just
kind
weird.
of Tom.
That's kind of Tom. That's kind of just told me.
It's kind of. I didn't know either, but that's kind of on character.
It was a
Holland. That's a Tom Holland Spider-Man thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Put the suit on inside out.
Yeah, to clean that green stuff that was on it. I could get that, but it was just like I didn't feel like it needed to be added. That was another point where I was just like, okay, sure, whatever y'all doing. Yeah, it. I didn't notice it was inside out until the second time I watched it. After he was watching it, he pulled the suit up and was like, oh. He like had the idea. Was like, I'll just do this, and then in the forest you could see like the wires.
You saw it twice.
You saw the wires sticking out and all that. I was like, okay, the suit is inside out. So we get he goes to the forest or the electrical plant wherever he was, and he sees Electro. Tries to shoot him with the what's it called? The
little magic.
Yeah, the magic to teleport him into the prison.
He shot it while he was still pure energy. It's gonna go right through, boy.
Look, Tom Holland has shown he's not the brightest.
He's a kid.
Yeah, he's like not the brightest on command. Like he just like does.
He sure was bright.
Oh yeah, he does. I will get to that. But like right off, like bam, he just shot him because I would think the same thing too. It's like okay, if I shoot him, it will be good. Nope, it didn't go through. It went through him. Oh well.
And to think also. It is magic, so how does the properties of magic work against a person made of pure just like electricity?
Right, that is a great point. So he has to start a little small fight with Max, aka Electro, and then Sandman comes out of nowhere. Says, "Peter, I'm here to help." It's like, wait, I'm not your Peter, but you can help me. We got to stop this Sandman. If you could distract him, I'll take out the wire so he can stop powering up. And Sandman agrees. At this point, I thought Sandman was going to help him throughout the rest of the movie. Excuse me. Sandman was probably one of the most inconsistent characters in this film.
Oh, facts.
He was. I was very confused.
Oh my God, Nina.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like no introduction.
No intro needed.
Like, you know why? Because Sandman had one either.
He definitely did.
Yeah, he just.
It was like, you know how you see something in the music be like, dun it. Like it's about to creep up on you. Yeah. That's all we got basically.
It's like,
and then he just pops like,
I knew Sandman was coming before we even got to Electro.
We saw Sand somewhere. Yeah,
and I was just like, well, this is not the way I would handle it, but sure.
I actually don't remember seeing Sand earlier, but I need to rewatch it. If you guys do, you guys remember what part exactly or no?
Yes, because
it was right before he started. Like Electro popped up.
Because first of all, there are these sand hills that's like it gives Space Jam a run for his money of them following
I'm sorry.
Following Spider-Man out there in the field. He's like, did y'all hear that? He's like, no.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay.
I was like, that's Sandman.
Yeah, he was following
when they show, even when they show at the bridge, you see the sand like flowing off the truck. I'm like, God, like
that. I remember that. Okay,
y'all don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have to. It's like here. He's here. He's coming. Y'all ready? Get ready. He's coming. Y'all not ready. And I was like, okay, we need all that.
Right.
I would have liked it more is if he's fighting Electro and he's getting outnumbered, and then all of a sudden Sandman pops up. Like, wait a minute, why is Sandman here? Oh snap! He left off being cool with Peter Parker. So what was he actually going to do? He's going to help him. Makes all the sense in the world. I'm just like, okay.
So then why did he just all of a sudden turn evil then? That was so weird.
I mean,
Jamie Foxx was in his ear heavy.
I won't even say that.
I was destroying Sandman. Did not realize I was on mute. He's an idiot. That's why, man.
It was just he's just so inconsistent. He was just so inconsistent. He was flip flopping.
He was very easily swayed by whatever everyone was saying.
And I feel like he wasn't like that in 3.
Jamie Foxx got that lineup, became a different man.
That's also another thing I'll bring up. So we get Max back in a new body, also a new personality, which I didn't see. I was like, what? This is not even the same character that was in TASM 2. But you know what? Sure. Let's just, because I'm like, yo, you went from the nerdiest of nerds in the world to you're from New York. You're in the streets of Brooklyn.
Negro, as you would say.
Yeah, like, yo, you literally threw your Timbs on and just appeared on set.
Bing bong.
Oh my god.
He said right now to Joe Biden.
So we had so Peter sends Electro into the prison after putting clothes on them. Sandman was like, I don't trust you. What did you do to him? Ready to fight him. And then he puts Sandman into the prison too. After that, we get Peter calling MJ and Ned saying, hey, I'm going to fix the area where, this was destroyed because they're going to blame me for it. I was like, all right, number 2 for the most Peter Parker thing in this movie that Tom Holland has done. I was like, okay, we're on a good track right now. After he fixes it, he gets a call from Aunt May saying, hey, someone is asking for you, and I'm thinking is one of those multi-dimensional guys. He just came here. Peter rushes over, runs into the building, a feast. Where's Aunt May? Runs to the back, and he sees Norman Osborn talking to Aunt May.
You see, this is the thing, because you missed the whole scene about Norman in the alleyway.
I sure did. Sure did. We get Norman in the alleyway, pretty much trying to hide his glider and take off the suit. But then we get the Goblin influence. The mask is sitting on the dumpster. We get the Goblin influence. Like, this is a whole nother world we could conquer. Like, pick yourself up and get with it. Like, you disgusting piece of shit. And I was like, Goblin, you. I'm like, yo, what's up?
Honestly,
and Norman's like, no, I don't want to do this. And Goblins just keep pressuring him more and more. He takes a rock and just smash the mask. And I thought that was a nice little Easter egg of Spider-Man No More. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Not knowing this was just all a part of his plan overall. Back to where we are in Feast, we see Norman Osborn is just not okay. And Aunt May is like, look, he's lost, not only here, but in the head. And it's also confirmed that Oscorp technically doesn't exist here. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was interesting. I'm not sure how they're going to
not yet, at least.
Yeah.
The way it ended, not yet.
Right. I'm not sure if this is going to impact the future of the MCU. If they're going to bring a Norman and a Harry in the future of this.
They're going to have to, because this man going to need some friends.
Yeah, he needs something. He definitely do need someone. Honestly, I was thinking Black Cat will probably be in the next one. But that's not really a friend, but that's a fling.
Yeah.
But
it's something.
Yeah. So we get Aunt May like, look, like, he's not okay. And Peter's like, look, I need to send them back to where they came from. Like, this is not my problem. It's just that, no, we help people here. We don't care how much bad they cause or if it's not our problem. If there are people in need, we're going to help them. And I was like, okay, that was a great Aunt May moment that we didn't get from any of the Spider-Man movies.
This is the most Aunt May we've gotten out of any of the movies.
Right. It's like her influence was nothing in the other movies. And now I'm like, okay, we're hammering it in. Like, it's like, it's almost as...
Marissa Tomei alone, brother.
It's almost as if the writers looked at every single complaint from every Spider-Man of the Spider-Man Home series, and it was like, okay, we have to fix this, we have to fix that, we have to fix that. And I felt like they did it in a way where it wasn't like what's the movie? Batman v Superman. It wasn't like thrown in there with like, oh, everyone's out the city now, so it's a good thing that no one took overtime and the city is not, populated, so people aren't going to die.
That was our fault.
That was I still. That was
our fault.
I cringe at that. I was like, this is.
Yeah,
so...
I cringe that too. I cringe that too because you know why? Because it was our fault.
Yeah, it was just like, why? This is so awkward. I actually,
you think you know what you want? You don't know what you want. That's what it is.
So Peter brings Norman Osborn to the Sanctum Sanctorum in the Cave of Wonders, and he introduces him, Norman Osborn, to MJ and Ned. And then we see Norman Osborn walking over to Otto Octavius. He's like, Otto Octavius, he's like, you're Norman Osborn, you're supposed to be dead. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm here. And Peter's like, yeah, he's standing right there. He's like, no. He died. And then Sandman comes. He's like, yeah, it was all over the news. He got impaled by his glider, and Dr. Octavius died trying to drown his machine. Dr. Octavius is like, wait, hold up. I don't know. I actually did. And that's when Electro starts thinking about it. He's like, no, I died trying to get all this power. And then he
didn't say he died. He realized he died. He didn't know he died.
Yeah, he was absorbing all this power, and next thing you know, he's here.
He said, oh shit, I was about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
he was like, I was getting ready to tear Spider-Man's ass up, and then like had this move ready, and then shit.
Yep. Also, an inconsistency with that is
I was just about to ask the question.
Yeah.
For the novice here.
Mm-hmm.
So, Amazing Spider-Man and Original Spider-Man exist in the same universe?
No.
No.
Those are two completely different universes.
That's why I'm confused. So why would Electro say, yeah, it was all over the news?
No,
he didn't say that. Sandman said that.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Electro said it was all over the news that he died, and I was like, I'm confused.
If I did, that was my bad. That was my bad.
Electro knew everything that happened with Connors, because he remembers that happening before he became evil.
Yeah, and Connors was like, yo, you was just a janitor. He was like, you was trying to turn everybody into lizards. But the one.
All right, I was just trying to make sure. I was like, did I miss something?
Okay. Yeah. The one inconsistency, Dr. Strange said, these villains were pulled out from universes where they knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man, where Electro did not know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. I thought that was the only inconsistent thing for the villains, continuity wise. Other than that, no.
I fucking see that bullshit.
So Doctor Strange comes in. He said, "Look, I have this device that No, he sends Norman Osborn into the prison and confinement. And he says, "Look, I have this device, and it's containing the spell. After we press this button, they're all going back to their universe." Peter sitting there is like, "No, we actually have a chance to help all these people. So when they go back, they won't face the same fate that they did." Doctor Strange is like, "No, their fate is to die. If they're going, the bill comes due." That's the only time he listened to that line. The bill comes due. And then Peter's like, "Look, I don't want to do this, but I have to." He takes the little device, tries to run out the building, and then we start to get a fight with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, which I thought this was visually appealing, especially for someone that didn't like Doctor Strange much.
They call whatever acid cokehead did the last scene and said, "Hey, fire away."
This fight was also the most, like, how can I put this? This was one of the only fights where I said only Peter Parker could pull this off, when he used geometry to capture Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
And I'm sitting there, I'm over here fanboying because I'm like, you guys are literally check marking everything correctly, and I don't.
What's better than magic? Math.
And
I disagree.
Fix.
Disagree with.
How was he able to avoid Doctor Strange grabbing the box when he knocked
I think it has something to do with his spider sense.
That's what I felt like. I was like, this most likely,
because as he was astral projecting, you can see the spider sense around his body's head.
I didn't see that, but
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I know his body is when it's a spider sense, his body is just moves. Unless his consciousness decides not to move, his body will just move if the spider sense is triggered. Which I was like, okay, that's a little cool thing that can only be for hardcore Spider-Man fans to understand. Instead of
so my thing now is say my man sleep, it still happens the same way.
His spider sense will trigger when he sleeps. Well, I don't know if in the MCU, but his spider sense do trigger when he sleeps.
Okay.
So Spider-Man steals the device, traps Doctor Strange in the portal, takes his ring, and says, "Look, I can help all these people. Just give me time." And then him, Ned, and MJ tries to start working on a cure for each of them. Well, not a cure, but Norman Osborn says the meme, "I'm somewhat of a scientist myself," which at first I'm like, why did y'all add that? But that was a good callback. I think it was almost annoying because of how much it was memed now.
I don't remember seeing that as a meme, but I was wondering why people...
It was everywhere.
Yeah, it was oh, I'm somewhat of a skater myself. Everyone just keeps putting the thing. I'm like, oh my God, but all right.
I missed that.
Okay. I missed that too. Yeah,
I missed that way. I did this for the better.
Yeah, yeah.
The socials.
That line is appreciated more if you
if you knew the meme.
Yeah, no. If you don't know the meme, I would say it's appreciated more.
Oh no, my entire theater was cracking up.
Yeah, I was annoyed by it. I was like, okay, we get it. You ain't had to put that in there. So we get Peter contacts Aunt May to bring everyone over to Happy Hogan's apartment so they could start doing tests and experiments on him. He finds a little device from Tony Stark that was left in Happy's closet that could pretty much where he could do experiments and build and all that. I love the scene where Peter and Norman are working together, where it just shows more of Peter genius side. Cause
working with Norman.
What was that?
You said you like to
Peter and Norman, or
just
Peter
working?
No, Peter and Norman working together.
That scene where they were creating the cures.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was saying, I liked it when it was all three of them. Doing.
Well, let's get there. Let's get there. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you threw me off real quick. My bad.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Too.
I was like, you completely threw me off. But I like the genius side that we showed with Peter Parker, because we got a little taste of that in Far From Home, but it was still too Tony Starkish, where in this one, it was him figuring it out. And I was like, wow, they really figured out the cure for Doc Ock quick. It's like, yeah. This chip is implanted in his head. It was destroyed. If we could find a way to get that, back into the correct course, we can fix him. So they go over, put the chip behind Doc Ock's head, and he's like, "Yo, I'm cured. The arms are listening to me now." He was able to take the nanotech off, and they put it on Peter, and they gave him this iron spider symbol, which I was like, I'm tired of, but as long as he don't bring the arms out anymore, I'm cool. After that, he started doing more experiments. He went to Electro. He had this device that absorbs the electricity in his body. He starts nerding out, trying to explain to Electro, is like, well, you do need electricity in your body in order. He's like, wait, you know what? Why am I explaining this to you? He was like, yeah, why are you explaining this to me? After that, we get a weird scene where Octavius is talking to Norman. He's like, look, are you excited to be cured? And he turns around. He's like, I forget what line he specifically said, but that line was like, yeah, that goblin is right there.
It was something about having no more evil half.
Yeah, no more. That's right. No more evil half. He was like, yep, for the better or something like that. And I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, the goblin is coming out here. That thing is coming out here. Also, Lizard was stuck in the truck. I did not like Lizard in this movie. And
he wasn't stuck. I thought he voluntarily stayed.
Yeah, he voluntarily stayed.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to go.
Yeah, I did not like Lizard in this film.
It was very unnecessary.
Extremely unnecessary.
They only did it to get another villain from.
It was either that or Rhino.
Yeah, basically.
Who wants Rhino?
I remember I saw leaked clips of Rhino, which I was like, oh, why is he here? But
speaking of Rhino, there's a thing, but that's at the end.
Yeah, I saw that at the end.
There's a couple things at the end.
Yeah, I would have. I'm not gonna say that because that's gonna. Fuck it. I would rather have Hydro Man than Lizard in this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Had to.
I'm about to say, he said that in the car on the way home. He was like, when we talk about this on the spoiler cast, I'm going to bring up Hydro Man.
Why? Why are you going to bring up Hydro Man?
Well, one, because it irks you. It's the only thing I got in life that irks you.
Honestly,
everything else you F4.
We're F4.
But when it comes to that Hydro Man, boy, your spice has
got you.
If Hydro Man was in the last battle, he would have wrecked everyone. Like easily. I was like, well, they're dead. There's no
because they're
because it's like because I'm like, well, they're done. There's no other way that they're gonna fix this. While Peter's working on more experiments, his Spidey sense goes off onto like an alarming rate to where he walks over into the living room. All the villains stand up.
A panic attack.
Yeah, like this was like I was questioning. I was like, what is going on?
I liked that scene so much.
I like the way it was shot.
Yeah, because the way it was shot, because it's kind of like everything's in like a rack focus, and everything was focused on him. But it's those scenes where you see his spider senses letting him know there's impending danger, right, but he doesn't immediately know what's going on.
Right. And I like that how the camera was so close to his face to make us feel like Peter was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is very uncomfortable. I need to figure it out quickly. Electro's looking. He's like, what you looking at us like that for? Sandman's just standing there like, I don't know what's going on. Octavia's like, Peter, are you good? He used his Spidey sense to detect that Norman Osborn.
My man going round for round.
Yeah, Norman Osborn is something's happening to Norman Osborn. So he webs him up to the machine, and that's when the Goblin appears. And
no, he webbed him knife. Goblin had a knife out.
Yeah,
I didn't see the knife. Oh, I actually didn't see the knife.
Yeah, he had
neither times. Okay, I thought he was grabbing the machine and was like trying to throw it. I didn't see the knife at all.
He had a knife in his hand. He webbed Goblin's hand to the window.
Oh,
but the knife.
Thanks for that. I did not see that. I didn't even notice. Goblin starts a speech saying like, we don't need to be cured. I don't know why you're trying to cure us. We're gods. And that's just boosting Jamie Foxx's ego. I'm sorry, Max's ego. He's like, yeah, we are. You know what I'm saying? I like this world. I like the energy in this world. I'm a god too. And that's when did Electro break the window? I think it was. Oh no, Electro grabs the arc reactor from the other room, brings it to him, takes off the electric nullifier. Yeah, the nullifier off him and puts the arc reactor on. Does this huge blast. Doc Ock is flying out of the window. Sandman, inconsistent as hell. Just like, you know what? I'm joining too. I'm like, the fuck?
Pretty much.
It creates a sand tornado.
Yep, creates a sand tornado heading to the ground. Lizard breaks out of the
Lizard can somehow feel Goblin shifting because he's like, here we go.
Yeah. which I'm like, that wasn't explained much, but you know what? Screw it. It's probably a lizard thing. Well, animals do have sixth sense.
I'm about to say it's a lizard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get, okay. That does make sense now. And they all get out. Well, pretty much each villain kind of goes their own way. We have Doc Ock running away from the situation. Max and Sandman just going out, as well as Dr. Connors.
Doc Ock didn't run from that situation?
Yeah,
he jumped to the next building.
Yeah, he hopped to the next building and left.
I thought he got... I mean, I see. I thought he got either tossed or something. No. No,
it was fighting at first.
Electro shot him out the building.
Yeah, that's what I said. Electro did the shot.
And he jumped to the next building.
Yeah. And he left. Lizard was still there because he wanted to attack Peter a few times, which was still unnecessary. I don't know why. But this is probably one of the most hardcore fights in the movie, where Peter is fighting Goblin in the hallway.
Yo, Goblin was beating the shit out of him.
He powerbombed him like...
He spine busted him and then power bombed him. I'm like, yo, Willem Dafoe doing spine busters in 2021 is fire. I don't
exactly.
care.
And he wanted to do his own stunts, and I was like, really? I'm like, Willem Dafoe? Okay. Yeah. Also, this was a real cool thing. Another move that was like only Spider-Man could do this, where he webs up to ceiling when Goblin's on top of him, flips him over, and then use the webs on the webs the ground and pulling himself down, bringing them to the next floor.
Yeah, that was. I
was like, yeah,
cool.
that's such a Spider-Man.
That was
thing.
cool.
And then it looks like he was going for a Black Widow scissors kick, and it was well, that didn't go well. And just Peter just punching him, and the Goblin just grinning at it. It was like, oh, this is so menacing. That was the
creepiest shit.
This is so menacing. I love that part.
Not many people can do a crazy face like Willem Dafoe can do a crazy face.
Which is why I'm still shocked he hasn't been Joker yet.
Big fix. I can see that.
Yeah, I can see it, but I'm just tired of it's too many Jokers out. We don't need another.
Oh yeah, at this point I don't care.
Like, we don't need another one. I may have the cure for Norman, so she's running downstairs trying to get that trying to get away from the whole situation. Then Peter and Goblin crashes right in front of her. And she
she's like, nah, bitch, I'm a fight.
Right. As Norman is choking Peter, about to make him lose his breath, May comes over and stabs him with the cure. Now, I wasn't sure if this was explained or not, but I think that cure was more of a booster that he set up so that it won't nullify him. That's what I'm thinking, because at the end it got switched. Or it was really a cure, whereas far as here it wasn't. So I think that was more of a booster, and he planned that all along. I May's about to trying to defend Peter, and Peter's like, yo, leave, please. And then we see the glider appear behind her and then takes May out, and Norman Osborn hops on the glider. He says, I think he says something of the point of your action has consequences. I forget exactly.
And how Peter's going to thank him for that later.
Okay. I didn't remember exactly, but it was a key moment, and crap. But after that, he throws a pumpkin bomb. Peter tries to grab it, and it explodes.
I saw that scene, and I'm like, he really trying to be Peter's origin story.
He trying to come back for real, like.
Oh yeah, I feel like if out of any of the villains, it had to be Goblin to really like be the core villain. I think.
Yeah, you know
that's his biggest odds, man.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to interrupt you as you was, breaking the stuff down, but I have to jump back to something.
Yeah,
because it's not because say it's like okay, you're going word for word here, but you're missing stuff. And I'm like, okay, Electro is not getting the credit that because he is the one that is putting the stuff into people's heads because he never was with this thing in the first place. As soon as he came out here, he said, "This is a new power here, and I like it." And even when he was talking to Sam, he said, "Yeah." As you look out the window, like, "Yo, man, I'm liking it here." He was like, "I can be a new me. This is something different." Yes, Green Goblin is the one that set this whole thing because he's like, truly, that's the evil part of it. But it was like he didn't have no influence on Max because Max is going to probably take that thing off regardless off his chest. And I think if anybody had influence on Max, I mean, anybody had more the influence. I think it was Max when it came to Sandman. And for them, despite this show, we got these powers. We here now. Let's just dominate this world. I think that was kind of overlooked with it because that's one of the things I like that they updated about Max's character opposed to the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, he must have stopped through on the transport to the universe. He stopped through the Jamie Foxx show set and was just like, I came here to get my swag real fast and run back through.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm saying. It wasn't because Goblin amplified here. He said we're God, stuff like that, but he was already even when they came in, he was not with the plan.
Yeah, he didn't need much convincing.
And, you know what I'm saying? You know, and then everybody was almost going with. If it wasn't for Octavius being helped with the arms, they would have went his way anyway. And I think that I just wanted to mention that. I wanted to give him some credit for how his character is being built.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. After that, crap, where was he? Oh, we got Aunt May being attacked. Then we had this scene where Peter's trying to make sure Aunt May is okay, and then she starts giving Peter's pretty much regretting. Peter is regretting helping them at all, and was like, "This is all my fault. If I just sent them back to their universe, it would have been okay." May's like, "No, you did the right thing. Don't matter what doesn't matter what you think. You did the right thing because you tried to help them." And then she's like, Peter's still down on himself. He's like, "Look, you have great power. You have a lot of power in you. And with great power comes great responsibility." The first time we got this line,
it was reworded. They reworded it for the MCU though. With great power, there must also be great responsibility.
Oh, okay.
People been mad about this online. It's been funny.
Well, we didn't get because we didn't get that line in TASM either. So
we didn't?
No, he said responsibility, but he never said with great power comes great responsibility.
I gotta go back and look at Barton Sheen because I don't know. I think Barton Sheen. I don't know. I guess I've not watched the movies in years. So
it was like they wanted to say it, but they just didn't.
I'm not to say it.
I think like a Sony MO right there.
I think they said it at the end of the movie, but when he was strictly talking to Peter, they didn't say it.
Because when he was explaining to the other Peters that this is what she said, yeah, they finished it for him.
No, it was only Toby that finished it for him.
Was it?
Yeah. Then we get probably one of the best acted Tom Holland scene I've seen in ever was when Aunt May died and he's just crying over her body. And I was like, I didn't want it to happen, but I was like, yeah, it kind of got to happen. In order for Spider-Man to be Spider-Man, he needs a death in his life.
I think he had a better scene than that one.
You think so? Okay, we'll get to that.
Bro, the pump fake was too long with Aunt May.
That scene was dragged
for her to have a whole ass monologue.
That scene was dragged on a little bit too long. And I would say, how can I put it? I feel like the scene would have been driven home and a bit more impactful if she was more prominent in the other two films. Because in Far From Home, it felt like she didn't really have much of an influence over Peter. Whereas Homecoming, it was kind of there. It was like she's the guardian and she gave him advice at times. But it didn't drive home.
I think although we didn't see her, it kind of was evident how much he cared for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why this one it makes sense for it to kind of hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's going to hurt. Regardless.
How helpful she actually was.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially in this movie, she was more helpful in this movie than she was in the other films. After
the other film, she was just eye candy.
Right. After that, we get a new. Oh wait, Happy drives over to the scene. And he's seeing Aunt May's body, which I thought that was like, crap. Like, she broke up with you, and now you see her dead body. It's just like you're not having a good week, man, at all. Well, honestly, it didn't happen.
More like crappy Hogan. Like,
oh my god, that was a me joke.
That was bad.
After that, we get a scene of MJ and Ned watching the news at Ned's house, and there it was confirmed that at least one person died from what they know, but a couple people did get injured in this situation. Ned is talking to MJ. MJ is like, look, I'm gonna press the button, send them back to the universe. I know I'm supposed to wait for Peter to text me or call me, but he hasn't. I'm gonna press the button. And Ned's like, look,
so much sooner.
Yeah. Ned has the Doctor Strange ring on, the teleportation ring, and he's like, look, if we just find a way, he's circling his hands around and a small portal comes out of nowhere. And MJ's like, well, do that again. He does it again. Another portal, a small portal, opens up and closes back up. And she's like, okay, let's just say send us to Peter, like find Peter Parker. That way we could, talk to him or, find him. We need to find Peter. He does the portal and we see Spider-Man and they're like, Peter, come on. And hops in the scene, Andrew Garfield. The crowd went wild. I don't know about y'all theater, how your theater react?
My theater was standing up.
No, we
went crazy. Yeah, we went crazy.
Yeah, none of my people standing up. I don't like when people stand up in theaters. I don't like
the bootleg man don't either.
Oh, please don't mention the bootleg man, because I got a story for y'all.
Oh God.
My friend went to go see it. These fools were streaming it from a website. They ain't even had the real movie. Hold on. The website crashed. So all they looking at is the screen, the 404 error code.
Wait. The theater?
Yeah, the movie theater?
The theater.
Hey, yo.
This wasn't in Philly, was it?
No.
Okay. Because I was about to say.
I'm like, my brother, go get your money back.
Yeah.
Go get your money back.
Get your money back, because that's unnecessary. But it was great seeing Andrew Garfield, and it feel like he didn't miss a beat. It was like, oh yeah, he's playing this role. MJ's not trusting him, and she's like, yo, if you're really Peter, or Spider-Man, prove it to us. And he's like, I don't carry no ID with me. Like, and she's like, all right, well, prove it. He's like, you know what? All right. He jumps on the ceiling, sticks to the ceiling, and she's like, I don't believe that. Crawl.
Yeah, this dialogue was hilarious to me.
I love this scene. This is a really, and especially after a really somber moment, I thought this was great. The comedy pitch in this was great. And Peter's like, look, I'm not gonna crawl. No, crawl. And then Ned's grandma was like, can you tell him to get the cobwebs since he's up there? Crawls on the ceiling, get the cobwebs. And he's like, look, there we go. I'm Peter. MJ looks at Ned and is like, all right, that's obviously a Peter, not our Peter. We need to find a real Peter. Ned opens up another portal. It comes up from behind him. And then Tobey Maguire comes in, looking like a youth pastor, just as Andrew Garfield
He really did like a cool youth pastor.
He definitely did. I was like, yeah, that was accurate.
He was waiting for them to be like, all right, you guys, we're on our way to the lockout.
Let's
all right,
fellowship, y'all. So,
hey guys, after this, we're gonna play dodgeball.
Not dodgeball.
And Tobey Maguire, he still had that Tobey Maguire awkward Peter Parker twang to him, and I love that. He was like, hey, I hope you don't mind. I just came through that portal that was behind me. He looks at Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield looks at him, and they just like on instinct start shooting webs at each other, backflips, and Tobey Maguire's
They're doing a spider thing.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man shoots his wrist, so no more webs will come out.
That was the closest y'all was going to get to the me with them pointing at each other.
No, there was a moment. There was a moment. Yeah.
Okay.
After that scene, they're like, look, we need to find our Peter. And they're like, look, as Peter Parker, enthusiasts, we are Peter Parker, so we probably understand him the most. Let's think about the one place where Peter would go. If he just needs some time to just to be alone, where would he go? Because I would go to the Chrysler Building. Andrew Garfield's like, I go to the Empire State Building. He's like, oh yeah, that's a nice view. I really like that view. Where would your Peter Parker go? And they go back to Midtown High, where Peter is sitting on the roof. MJ and Ned goes over to him, hugs him as he's grieving, crying about his aunt. And MJ is like, look, we have someone for you to meet. He looks up, he sees 2 spider people jump down.
Immediately dismissed it.
Yeah, he was like, no, hold up. Nah, what y'all doing? He's like, look.
Go home. I should have brought y'all here. Yeah. My bad. Leave.
Right. And he's like, and Andrew's like, look, I know how you feel. He's like, no. Don't tell me you know how I feel. And Andrew's like, you know what? You're right. I'll back up. I won't go in there. Peter's like, look, this is all my fault. And like, I'm the reason why my aunt died. And this was one of the moments where I was like, I'm glad that was in this movie, where it was Peters talking to other Peters, Peters talking to Peter, pretty much on like the grieving point and how to move forward from this. We get a little bit more depth from Andrew Garfield, as he says, like, look, I lost Gwen, which was my MJ. It was hard to get back up. But when I did get back up, I had to keep going. But the more I kept going, the less I started to pull my punches. And I don't want that to happen to you. I was like, I wish we got that 3rd movie. I was like, oh my God, I would love to see that.
So, I was not mad.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, you mean when he's his punches?
Yeah, when he said, I'm not, he stopped pulling his punches. Mr. Amy, your question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, Spider-Man can stop pulling his punches, but Batman can't.
Batman is mentally like unstable as a human being right off the bat. Like he will see 100-year-old person with a Lego set that says age 8 to 99 and beat the shit out of them because they're not in that age range. You
missed what I said. I said so.
Yo. Are you doing? Is this the BVS argument again?
I'm about to say. I'm just saying. Wait, I'm just saying. Fair is fair. Fair is fair. I'm just like, everybody cried when Batman
was on your side.
I answered your question. Batman is just mentally unstable.
I'm saying,
like, there's more to that problem that Batman has to solve.
Yeah, it's called death of his parents. Just like he did the death of Gwen.
I understand.
It caused him to pull the punch. I'm just saying. In other words, what I'm trying to say is, I like that. I have no problems with superheroes breaking the norm. I don't understand why we get so in our feelings. And when I say we, I don't mean anybody on this podcast. I'm talking about. I don't get why the society or people or casuals or other fucking nerds get such in their feelings when we go when we stray away from the norm, because that's what a human would do.
I think it's more when it comes to Batman, it's like that is the norm for Batman. Whereas Peter, it's not the norm for him to do that.
See, Batman doesn't kill.
He'll put you in a near-death experience. And it's like, yo,
I'm about to say he don't kill, but you wish he was dead.
Yeah, he literally breaks every bones in your body and say, now talk. It's like, yo, my jaw is gone. What? Why?
You on an iron lung.
Yeah,
my jaw is gone.
I just love how they handle the human part, because I like the way Tobey Maguire looked. I'm like, the man look old, but like he been through some shit.
Honestly, Toby looked like an alcoholic at first. I was like, oh, he looked like he went through.
And I like how Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was, Peter Parker was just like, I stopped pulling my punches. And I was just like, that's great.
Yeah, I loved it.
Because I probably would do the same thing. I'm like, no, man, you ain't gonna curse me out, talk all this shit. I arrest you, and then you still talking shit. But you know what? It's time to take you out of here.
Yeah,
gotta get you out of here.
Part of me wants to see another movie with Andrew Garfield.
Stop right there.
Part of me hopes because Andrew Garfield's a good actor. He's a good actor. He's a good Peter Parker.
He is. I don't want to see no more Amazing Spider-Mans though.
I would look. The only way I will watch Venom 3 is if I see, if they put like either Toby or Andrew in Well, they don't gotta put Toby in it. If they put Andrew in Venom 3, I'll be more.
Was it just me, or did he pause out?
No, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I said if for them to convince me to see Venom 3, I would want them to have Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in that universe.
You still wouldn't see it because it's Venom.
No, I will see it because Andrew Garfield will be that Spider-Man in that universe.
You said when the first Venom came out before the movie even came out, before we seen post-credit scene, you said if I'm going to see Venom, you know what I'm saying, they could at least put Carnage in there. Then after you see Woody Harrelson's car, you're like, fuck this. And the next thing you know, I don't think you want to see Venom too, did you?
He would only watch Venom with Andrew to see Andrew play Spider-Man interacting with Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be like, okay, now you guys have convinced me to see that. Tobey Maguire talks about the hardships of, you know, the grieving point, because he brought up the point where Uncle Ben died because of him. And he's like, look, I killed someone that I thought killed Uncle Ben. The person that killed Uncle Ben is like, he's technically still out there and he's still alive. But I killed someone that I thought did it, and I don't feel good about it. That did not give me that sense of satisfaction that you think you're going to get if you kill him. And then Peter's like, look, my Aunt May, before she died, she said, with great power, and then Toby responds, comes great responsibility. They're pretty much saying, yo, we've been in this game. We know what we're talking about. We know you want to help. We can help. But the path you will go down right now, the way we are seeing it, this is not the path you want to go down. And I'm glad that both of those Peters had that experience to tell this Peter that. Which is what I remember we talked about it months ago. And I was like, I kind of hope the Peters are kind of a teacher to him. And we kind of got that moment with that. How did you guys feel about this scene?
I mean, you calculated it.
Yeah, it was good. I think it was necessary for you know, who else can help Peter but Peter? Right. So I think it was good.
You sound like you.
I like that, like how it didn't take the other Peters from a specific time.
How did you feel about that scene for Mr. A and Lady Sketch?
I'll let you go first, Jimmy girl.
I thought it was cool because, you know, especially in a time where he feels like he is completely alone now, you know, because you got MJ and Ned, sure, but as far as like you have no family left, so to have somebody come and be like, I know you said you couldn't possibly understand, but I mean, we do. Yeah. Like we get it, because in the other universes, Aunt May is old as sin, so she wasn't going to be around much longer anyway, bro. So it was good because in that moment, you need somebody to be like, look, you do come out to the other side of this,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I didn't really have much.
Okay, I thought you.
I thought that was a good like end for your point. Mr. A.
This is to me of the scene. I thought that he did a good job acting.
Okay.
Not personally, because first of all, you got to say something. When you lose somebody very, very close, you know what I'm saying? Still been in a situation not too long ago, when you can be as hard as you want to, you can be alone and sad as you want to. As soon as that person touch you, it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a moment like when all three of them were crying, I was like, yo, damn, I think she really just died.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I felt that. I ain't talking about the movie. I'm like, they was crying as if they just got the news that somebody close to them just died, and they said action. Oh shit, we didn't know they were still there. That's how it felt.
Right.
Now with you know, Andrew Garfield and Toby coming down there, I was like, okay, that whole talk and explain everything to him, I was like, this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It was a perfect dialogue. It was a perfect way they saw it. Andrew Garfield is an amazing actor. I have no problem with his acting. I have a problem with the movies. But I have no problem with, you know, his acting. And then it's like he can't even get Gwen Stacy's name out.
Right.
He can't
even say it's his girlfriend. He was like, "You're MJ." Like, And I thought that was the best way for him to relate it to Peter. He's like, you can say your girlfriend was like, all right, it was probably a month, but no, this is my MJ. I know how you feel about her. This was mine. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So that's what I really enjoyed that scene a lot.
Oh, also I have to say, I'm glad they took this moment to keep it a serious moment. Yeah. And not try to throw some random ass humor in there. And I was like, all right, thank you.
Who's Uncle Ben? Like,
yes, like, because that's the last thing.
The very last thing this movie needed, but any other Marvel movie would have did it. Any other Marvel,
Sony would have did.
Definitely would have.
Yeah.
Sony would have took that chance and been like, y'all remember Uncle Ben?
Like, I know, had a flashback and all that. Like, but yes, next scene, they say, you know what, we can help them. Let's work together to help these people. So they all go into the lab together, and this was the most Peter Parker thing that ever happened in the home trilogy. Just all of them, just being science bros, and I loved it. Peter's trying to explain to him, he's like, all right, I got this for Sandman, I got this for Electro, got this for Norman. Let's see what we can do. And Andrew's like, look, I already cured Dr. Connors, so this won't be nothing to me. And Peter says, look, I've been working on a cure for a while, or thinking of a cure for a while for Norman, so I could work on that as well. And this was such a nice scene, just to have all of them together, just working on it, and I guess to build more of that relationship with each other. Because I remember hearing that the other Spider-Man was just going to show up in the last scene, and that would have took away.
Definitely would have sucked.
Yeah, that would have took away a lot of that build up and a lot of that that conversations that we need with these Peters. As MJ walks over to Tom, and she's like, look, are you okay? And he's like, look, I'm doing my best. And they just hug each other, and Andrew Garfield's just looking at them, and he's just like, you could tell he's just thinking like, damn, like, I had this. That's when Toby looks at him. He's like, you got a woman? And he's like, nah, I don't have the time, too much. I don't have time to do Peter Parker stuff. Which is like, yo, I don't know what's happening in the Andrew universe, but it is depressing. It is like, yo, you just not having a good go at all. So we get that, and he's like, yeah, I don't have time for Peter Parker stuff. Toby's like, yeah, I kind of know what you mean. He's like, what about you? He's like, it's complicated, but we're making it work. And it's just like, yes, MJ and him finally like stop the toxicity and are getting shit worked out. Next scene, we have Ned walking over to Toby. He's like, you do you have a best friend? And Toby's like, yeah, I did have a best friend. He tried to kill me. And wait, no, he said, yes, I did have a best friend. He died. He died trying to kill me. And at first I thought Andrew said same, but he was just like, damn. Ned walks away. He's like, okay. And he's like, I don't want to have this same fate as, the best friend for you, Then we get the iconic point scene when Ned calls Peter, and they're all pointing at each other. He's like, Peter? Yeah. Like, no, not Peter. Peter. He's like, yeah, we're all Peter. Which one? No, Peter Parker. We're all Peter Parker. Which one you want? And it's like, look, just a computer, okay? So they pretty much getting everything worked out. And this is when they talk about the web conversation. Well, this is when they bring up the web conversation. And oh
yeah, they actually figured that out. Yeah,
they figured out that Toby has biological webs, which I'm glad they also. There's a lot of things I was like, I hope they say this and I hope they say that. And it looks like these, like, whoever was writing this movie had a checklist. It's like, okay, he's going to say this, he's going to say that. We got to have that. We got to have that in this. Which I thought this whole scene of just all the Peters together in the lab together doing all that was great. I'll start with Mr. A&E if you have anything you want to add or an opinion about this scene.
Oh, okay. I enjoyed all the Peters. I enjoyed them doing Peter Parker stuff. I enjoyed the casual conversations about of everything, and it was the best I can say. It's kind of a feel good. I mean, ain't not much to add, because I don't want to keep rehashing everything you said already. So,
I just want to open the floor for anyone that wanted to add to it. I'm not sure if anyone wanted to add.
I mean, I guess. Go ahead.
I just liked it for what it was, with a nice little heartwarming scene. Just like you said, Spider Bros.
Yeah. Shorty Beat.
I think this is one of the moments where it really hatched on that they had Ned kind of in there only for comic relief, because this is where he went out of his way to be like, I'm never going to turn evil and try to kill you. You're my best friend.
I like that scene, especially Andrew just, like patting him on the back, like, that's right. It is like you see both of the Spider-Mans that had that happen to them.
I say I think that's one of those scenes where I'm just like, they really put Ned in here as like, now it's just support the best friend, comic relief, because before this, Ned and not Ned, Peter and MJ about to have their moment on the roof, kiss, and then all of a sudden here come Ned.
Yeah, he was definitely breaking a lot of comic relief and tension and all that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Sketch, I'm not sure if you wanted to add anything.
No, nothing that anyone hasn't already said.
Gotcha. So we pretty much flashing over to the Statue of Liberty with the Captain America shield on it. I don't like that at all.
Who the idea was that?
I don't like that at all.
It's like how in Hawkeye they really, New York's really the center of Avengers. Like they're all so proud to have the Avengers Battle in New York happen there that they want to commemorate.
Avengers or Cap?
It was more Cap because they got a player Cap. They got a shield on them. Like this is Cap.
Well, they mentioned I only said Hawkeye because they got the monument for the battle of where the battle in New York took place, like where the center they stood. There's a monument there, and then they also mentioned the new Statue of Liberty of Hawkeye.
But I think they already they made a nod to it earlier. Like people do not like this update to the Statue of Liberty, which I was like, that shield is gonna be the only thing destroyed in this battle.
Good. Destroy it. I hope so, because I just didn't like that. However, I did like Peter pretty much calling in the Daily Bugle, telling him, he's like, look, I know this is all my fault. The villains that are here in this universe, I brought them here. This is my fault. I'm going to take responsibility for it. And I try to give these people a second chance. And I'm at the place where this is a monument of second chances. I thought that was beautiful. I was like, that is a great line. That is a beautiful place to fight. Like, let's do it. Just having that, I was like, okay, that makes sense. So we get some more of the Spider Bros talking, and this was honestly, I would love to have a whole film of them just sitting there talking like that, trying to just understand each other's universe and stuff. Peter is cracking Peter's back, making sure they're all good. They start asking about his webs. He's like, look, I don't know like how these webs are created, but it's like, it's almost like breathing. You don't just breathe. It just happens. They talked about the villains they fought. He's like, what's the craziest villains you fought? He's like, well, you met some of them. I fought an alien symbiote. He was like, really? I fought an alien in space on the Earth. Andrew's like, what? I suck. Like, I didn't fight any alien. I fought a rhino in a mech suit. And
what? You fought a rhino in a mech suit?
Or a Russian in a rhino mech suit.
Oh wow.
That would be even worse if it was a rhino in a mech suit. And then Toby was like, no, you're amazing. You're amazing. And I thought he was going to say, you're the amazing Spider-Man. And I was like, that would have been too cheesy for me if he said that. He's like, you're the amazing Spider-Man.
I thought I was going to go out this bitch. You're spectacular.
Oh my God. I would have hated that. I was like, this is so weird. But that probably would have got the names in order, which we're going to head to. But I love that moment. Just all three of them talking to each other. And it was just a great moment. Then we finally get the villains coming in. Max was the first person to come in, saying if Peter liked that new that he has. Which was, oh my God. And so Max starts trying to shoot at Electro. He's dodging. Peter's dodging it, and then that's when Andrew comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Yo, Max, how you been, buddy?" He's like, "Oh, that's my Spider-Man. That's who I need to be going after." And then Sandman comes, and wait, no, did Sandman come? I think they were still going after Electro, and
I think Lizard appeared.
Yeah, Lizard appeared, and I'm not gonna lie, this whole scene was dark. Let's just talk about this last fight scene as a whole, starting with the three villains: Electro, Sandman, and Lizard. I'll start with Q on this one.
I think it was all right for what it was. I'm not a fan of Lizard, and I don't know. He kind of didn't really do shit for me. Mm-hmm. So whenever he came up, I was genuinely disinterested.
Okay. You could talk about all three villains, Sandman, Electro, and
Sam. Like the combination of Sandman and Electro, it gave me that feeling like, oh, what they gonna do? It's sand, it's lightning. What y'all gonna do? How y'all gonna get them? So, it kept me on my toes. Sandman needs some new moves though. Like, bro, you can't just keep turning into a tornado and think they're not going to figure out a plan to stop you. You gotta get some new, update your move list, all right, and come back with a different strategy. But it was cool visually. It was crazy visually. Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
I'll go to Lady Sketch next.
I thought it was cool. I don't know how we just skirted by Tom Holland asking Tobey Maguire if his webs came out of other places. But
I did skip that little part. I thought I mentioned that part.
I thought it was cool. It was just like this part just solidified the fact that who were the secondary villains and who was the main focus.
I was going to agree with that. I was going to bring that up when I said so, but I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so Electro is clearly he's the main villain, actual villain here. Cool. Right. And then Sandman is here as a supporting character, and Lizard is just happy to be in the car. Because bro, what are you here for? The whole thing, I know this might be skipping a little bit, but the whole thing when they finally do get the cures, my man ain't have a line
at all
in the whole movie after that.
At all.
We ain't even acknowledge that they gave this man a cure and he was butt ass naked. He had no clothes on neither. And that was it. I was like, oh, okay. So it was just it was cool. It was better to see them finally be all right, so we gotta fix this because obviously we don't know how to work as a team.
Yeah.
And we getting our ass kicked.
I was gonna hop on that in just a moment. I was just talking about the first half of the fight. Okay. Mr. A&E.
I thought on one side it was brilliant, and on the second side it was it lacked something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm gonna piggyback off what you said a little bit, but once it lacked something, I was I seen Sandman big in Spider-Man 3 already.
Right.
I seen this, whether he's trying to be a big sand monster, big sand storm, big sand everything. It doesn't matter. I think I've seen this already, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So, but now I'm okay, he's a tornado with a face.
Can't do much with sand.
There's things
you can, yeah.
There are some things that Sandman has done in the comic books and in the animation. I'm just man, why can't we bring that to screen? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But
it's probably expensive. Yeah. I don't know.
Did you say expensive?
I don't know. I have no idea. Listen, I'm just trying to figure out a reason.
Can't fucking got no price tag. That's what you talking about. And then with the Electro, I like the power up. I'm just but this is the same stuff we're doing in Amazing Spider-Man, and it wasn't cool to see it. But here's the thing I was saying. I recognize a lot of people say I didn't like the Lizard. I didn't like the Lizard. I didn't like the Lizard. I'm like this. It ain't the Lizard's fault that you don't like the Lizard. Mm-hmm. It's how the Lizard is written that you don't like the Lizard.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I think a lot of this thing, because my biggest thing, because I said I didn't want to overstep nobody's toes or anything like that, but my biggest thing, because I didn't know if you're gonna have a section here of things that we did not like about the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna have that after everything.
Okay, because that was to me one of the problems. I'm like, okay, was it cool? As I'm doing, the first part of fight against them. Like I said, visually it was dope, but to me, this was not the Spider-Man movie that had the dopest action in it.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
Shorty B.
So for the beginning of the fight, I really liked how uncoordinated the Peters were. I think that showcased how tripped up they were about the fact that they each had a separate villain, but at the same time they each were fighting all three villains. But I do feel like Lizard was just there, and so was Sandman. It just felt like it was Electro versus them, and then Sandman and Lizard were giving me Jasper and Horace from 101 Dalmatians.
I don't recall that. I don't remember that movie enough to understand the reference.
Oh, clunky sidekicks, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
I got you, Shorty B. I knew exactly what you was talking about.
I'm sorry. I was just like, yeah, I don't.
It's like Harry and Mar from 101 Dalmatians.
Because that's what it really felt like. It just felt like it was Electro versus them. And then Sandman and Lizard was just there, and they were like trying to be involved.
Right, I agree with that. Like Electro was the main face of this first half of the battle. Now, after that, we get that small battle with them. All the Peters are uncoordinated, and they pretty much have like a huddle, and they're like, "Look, we need we need to get together. I thought you was Peter 2. It's like, no, I'm not Peter 2. I'm Peter 2. It's like, no. Listen to Peter 1, all right? We need to work as a team. I don't want to brag, but I was in the Avengers. Told me, he's like, Avengers? What is that? He was like, wait, you guys don't have an Avengers? He's like, wait, is that like a band or something? Like, no. That's besides the point. We need to coordinate as a team, all right? Let's start with, Toby said, all right, we could take one out at a time, or we focus on one villain. Each of us focus on one villain, and we try to take them out one at a time. And they pretty much say, all right, you Peter 1, you Peter 2, and you Peter 3.
Peter 3.
Yeah. I love it. I love Andrew Garfield. I love him. This made me like him so much more. And then he just stops. He's like, hold on, before we go. I love you guys. And I was like, he needed to get that out because he literally has no one. Like, he doesn't have no. He goes home and he is still sad. He is going back to his.
You saw that he was like, man, I always wanted brothers.
Right? Yeah. He's like,
because he's not getting the phone call back for the Spider-Man movie.
He's like, look, no, he
totally got a chance still.
He was like, look, please call me. I don't know. I don't care what I got to do. Call me. Look, I didn't even spoil it. Y'all know how many times they asked me in interviews about it, and I said nothing. Come on, y'all. Y'all could trust me. Like, yeah, Andrew deserves it. Andrew deserves it. So this was one of the coolest scenes where they all jump out the fixture and just web sling over to the part of the statue. I like that scene a lot because this is going to be the Spidey sexual talking. I love this scene so much because it really showed each Spider-Man in their own unique style from their movies. Whereas Toby is a bit stiff, but I don't want to say stiff, but he doesn't try to make it sexy, if that makes sense. He's like, no, I'm web slinging. Andrew, he's like, yeah, buddy, let's hop out here, let me do a little twist. Tom Holland, he's still the amateur, he still got it. Also, another scene is while they're web slinging, Tom Holland web slings on both of them and then pulls them over just to like use each other for momentum. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was geeking out in this theater. And then we also get that part where each of them attack their opponent. Whereas Andrew Garfield is doing a front flip kicking Lizard. Toby is just jumping in the air punching, and Tom is doing more of a evade and hide type of thing. We get them going through the fixtures. Tom is telling us like, all right, guys, let's get ready. Each Spider-Man takes a point. Andrew's running through the fixture. He grabs the antidote. He's fighting Lizard and pretty much doing the same move he did to him in the movie. He's like, look, I'll be back. You stay here. Dr. Connors runs over. And they're trying to... The first person they take out was Sandman. Andrew web slings on the outside of the fixture. Pretty much jumps up, passes the device to Tom. Tom activates it. Throw it to Toby. Toby presses the button, and Sandman is cured. And I was like, thank God, get him out the way. I don't want him to be here for the rest of this movie. They're both on the building. It's like, all right, we got one. We're good. They're standing there. Electro is like, bro, I'm gonna take y'all out. So it's pretty much all three of them versus Electro. They try to do like a team move on them, but Electro is pretty much overpowering them at this point. Then that's no, not that part. That's when we see Ned and MJ. I forgot to mention the box. Ned and MJ. Pete. Gosh, what am I going? Peter throws the box to Ned and MJ. He has the portal. He's trying to close the portal, but he can't close the portal. My first instinct is leave. Why are y'all just standing there? If you know there's a fight going on, you guys should just leave. But they're trying to close the portal just so they won't get the box. Eventually, Lizard gets over to them, jumps in the portal, tries to attack them in the building, and Tom is attacking Lizard. Eventually, he gets out the portal. Ned is running, opens another portal. Nothing but water comes out and hits Lizard. Sends him down the steps. Peter does a drop kick on them, kicking him to the ground. And then Ned opens another portal to see if MJ and him can get away. And then we see Doctor Strange. He's like, all right, what's going on? Someone passes the canister. Well, MJ passes the canister to Peter, and he cures. He has Dr. Connors bite the canister with the antidote in him, and he cures Dr. Connors. Doctor Strange looks at him. He's like, "Yo, what is going on?" MJ's like, "Look, they're curing him. Peter's idea is actually working." And Doctor Strange is like, "You know what? All right, fine." Andrew's Spider-Man is getting attacked by Electro. That's when, getting attacked by Electro. And then Toby's Spider-Man comes in and tries to help him. And then Dr. Octopus comes out of nowhere. He said, look, I got them. Grabs both Spider-Man, and then he grabs Electro. Grabs the device to nullify his electricity, takes out the arc reactor, put the nullifier on, and sends him to the ground.
I'm not going to lie. This is the part I wanted to get to. When he had the arc reactor talking about the power of the sun in my head, I'm like, oh, is he about to flip on us?
Okay. I agree with that. I thought he was about to. I was like, please don't switch up. We don't need that. But we get a wholesome scene where Dr. Octavius is looking at Peter. He's like, yo, you're all grown up. He's like, yeah, I am all grown up. I'm, he's like, so how are you doing? He's like, you know what? I'm trying my best. And I just that was just a wholesome moment in that. This movie was full of wholesome moments. Then we get Max and Andrew talking, and Max is like, "Yo, are you okay? Or no, wait, what did he say? He's like, hey, Max, you good, Max? Like everything's good? He's like, look, I'm good. I'm powered down right now. You ain't gotta say nothing, but you ain't got to say nothing. I'm not going to attack you. You be helping out people all over. You be in Brooklyn a lot. I see you over there. I would have thought you was black. Andrew was like, yeah, well, I'm kind of sorry. I'm not black. He's like, I'm pretty sure there's a black Spider-Man out there. And he's like, you know what? Yeah. And then I'm sitting in the back of him like, Miles!
I know you jumped for George.
I was like, yeah, that's Miles. Like, hopefully you'll meet him one day. I don't know. But I like that. I really like that part of the movie. I'll start phase 3 of the fight in a moment. But anything you guys want to add to the phase 2 of the fight? Or if you want to talk about how they coordinated with each other or anything like that?
I think you kind of covered the bases.
Okay. I just didn't want to talk too much where you guys, if you had something to say, y'all can interject at any time, but just want to make space for y'all.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I hate to be the enemy here. Because I obviously what I'm about to say, I'm about to be the enemy here. When you break it down scene for scene, nobody's going to interrupt you. And which is causing a drawn out, because Q said it earlier, but you didn't hear. He said we really going line for line, and it was like takes the momentum out when it's like if you want to talk about a certain scene, and we want to talk about something that's going down further, that's obviously not in that scene, it's going to take away from your breakdown. So nobody here wants to do that to you, but it's hard to interject in here and have like a conversation. It's kind of like we're listening, like a lecture piece. Yeah, we're listening to what you're saying. We're hearing to break down the scene. It's like, okay, after that scene,
all right, questions.
Okay, yeah. So, do you have anything else to ask? I'm like, you kind of broke it down. Everything we're going to say is a rehash of either what you said. There may be something different in there that and we may want to say something like that, but it's just like it just feels different from from a conversation style kind of piece type thing. It works when okay, if we haven't seen the movie or it's like we don't care about spoilers and you break it down, okay, we get that. But the conversation element of it, it is probably dusty. But I said that the conversation element. The conversation element is lacking because now we kind of don't know what to say, and it's like, well, we want to talk about this, or talk about a post credit scene, or talk about the art creator or stuff like that. It's kind of like it loses it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. It sounded like someone's about to say something else. Okay. In that case, what was that?
I was sneezing. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Bless you.
Oh, and Q disappeared, but he should be back shortly. In that case, we could jump right into the ending of the where the Green Goblin versus pretty much Spider-Man. Now,
how Green Goblin just snuck that pumpkin bomb in there.
That was a smart move from him.
Yeah.
I also like the scene where Doc Ock saves Doctor Strange. It really brought a completion to his redemption arc out of everything.
He's like, yes, I'm saving the wizard.
Right. I'm not gonna lie, for this part, I would have actually liked if all three Spider-Mans were fighting Green Goblin. Mm-hmm. If we had a team up, and then we had the Peter versus Tom Holland versus Green Goblin.
I think Peter 1 needed that alone ass whooping.
Yeah,
because he got his ass kind of stomped out back at Happy Hogan House.
Yeah.
So I think they bro.
Hey man, you power bomb me. We running that back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Bro, I don't need no help right now.
Yeah,
I am Spider-Man. Come on, now.
They knew from when they met him on the roof that he would need to fight Goblin 1-on-1 the entire time.
They just was like, just don't kill Bull. That was what they basically said.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I wish, with any of the characters, I wish it was a 3-on-1 where we see all the. We kind of had that with Electro, but it didn't really.
Swag wanted him to get that Iron Man work from.
Yes, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Why do you want that?
Well, they kind of replicated it with the way he was holding the glider. That was very similar to when he actually beating the shit out of him, because that was very similar to how Cap was tearing Tony face up and getting ready to impale him.
Oh no, I'm talking where Winter Soldier and Iron Man were. Winter Soldier and Cap were just tag teaming. I kind of wanted to see all three of them do a combo move with each other. All right, you hit them, I hit them. Especially with the Spidey sense, they could just read each other easily. I wanted that, but. I'm not mad that I didn't get it, but it was just that I feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity. But you guys are absolutely right where Tom Holland Peter needed this fight. And they both knew that he needed this fight as they no, don't go down there. Don't go down there. Just watch. And this was actually the part that I'm not sure if I told you, Q. This is the part I got spoiled on.
Yeah. You told me.
And this was the part I got spoiled on where he was fighting Green Goblin. Goblin stabbed Toby. And it was there's so much information here that I can't tell anyone about this. Sadly, I can't tell this to anyone. More on the
he stabbed Tobey Maguire in the theater. Was just because we thinking damn, y'all just killed my man on the return.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was scared.
Yeah, it was the same.
I was very relieved. He was like, "Yes, I've been stabbed.
I've been stabbed before." I'm like, okay.
I think it was. I think they strategically did that because they never actually showed where he was stabbed at.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Okay.
Up close.
Fair enough.
And I'm glad that Toby was the one to stop Tom from impaling him. He's like,
he had to have his redemption too, just like Andrew Garfield got his redemption by saving MJ.
Crap! I forgot. Shit,
you completely forgot that.
That's what I was saying. I was waiting for you to.
Yeah, I had the plan. I was like, all right, second half of the fight, and then Green Goblin comes out. I was going to run down that whole list. Okay. But yes, thank God. I'm happy for that part. Once I saw the trailer and I saw MJ falling, I was like, if Andrew's in this movie, he's going to save her. And I like how he learned from last time. He's like, I'm not going to get the spider web. I'm going to go and grab her and make sure she is safe.
He's like, there'll be no recoil this time.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And it was just so much said without being said. Just looking at Andrew's face when he saved her.
His face was like, I did it.
He was so hurt.
It was her going, are you okay?
He was like, yeah. It's like, so much was being said there. And I was like, you did it, man. You did it. You did it. I'm so happy that you did it. So yes, I'm glad Toby was the one to stop the glider for Peter.
That was his redemption because he let Goblin get impaled.
Yeah, exactly. It was such a great, like, so many arcs are just, being added to in this movie, and I loved it. And then, yes, Goblin stabs Peter, and then, he's just sitting there, like, pretty much trolling him. That's when Andrew throws the antidote, stabs Norman in the neck with the antidote, and he's pretty much cured. And he's looking at... What was that?
He goes, what have I done?
Yeah, and Tom Holland had this look. I was like, shut your bitch ass up. Like, I don't like. He had this look where he wanted to curse him out so bad. He was like, I don't even shut the fuck up because you put me through hell right now. So I thought that I laughed at that scene just off the sheer fact that it was just me. After that, we pretty much get like Andrew, Toby, and Tom are coming together just to make sure that he's okay. And we're pretty much about to get the conclusion where the multiverse is expanding and everything is coming through.
And I can't stop it.
At all. And I remember, I think, was it Shorty B or Q that's brought up the Rhino?
It was me.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to pinpoint more villains.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I was watching a thing earlier, and they mentioned some who else it could have been. 1 second, come back to me.
I think, what's my guy? Craven the Hunter had the spear.
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw something. I was like, what? Who is that? Who is that? Like, I was trying to, but yeah, it might have been Craven. I think it was Craven. But I thought that was really cool because I wish when I get the movie to own, I want to pause it and just look at each silhouette to see
just
what
go
villains.
to YouTube. Somebody did it.
Yeah,
already.
Someone did it, but
I'm about to say, bro, you gotta wait that long. Your new rock stars like blink. There it is.
Yeah, new rock stars. I haven't watched their Easter egg breakdown yet, but it's on my to watch list.
Yeah, that's a good 40 minutes of hopefully uninterrupted when them kids go to school. So that's what I'm gonna be watching.
I part of me wish that the portals open up and then we just see like a crazy amount of Spider-Man come out of nowhere and Doctor Strange is still trying to push them back, where we see PS4 Spider-Man, we see Miles, we see Spider-Punk, we'll see the Japanese Spider-Man with the giant mech. I was like, that's a little bit too ambitious, but
okay, so it was Craven the Hunter, Scorpion, the classic Rhino, and Black Cat.
Oh, Black Cat! I did not see Black Cat.
Because Craven makes sense because they've already casted Craven the Hunter.
Who is playing him?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
But everybody had
that's how I know y'all didn't know.
It was like, okay. Yeah.
He's been cast for as Craven. Yeah.
That's for the Sonyverse, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're good. We're good, y'all.
No, we not good, bro.
We good, y'all.
We not good.
We good, y'all.
It has to, because it has to take place in the same verse as Venom and Morbius.
I think Sony's confused on Morbius. Like they don't know what universe it's in. They're just throwing stuff in trailers. It's like, yeah, you see, Easter egg. Remember this movie? And it's like, okay, I don't even want to see the movie, but I just want to know what continuity is.
And then Black Cat. They never casted it, but the movie is still confirmed. They confirmed it in 2019.
I remember. I don't know if this is in the TASM universe. I think because I know they casted Felicia in TASM too, but
yeah, it is.
Oh wait, what?
It is in the TASM universe.
Oh, okay. So, okay, cool. In that case, it's I know they casted Felicia Hardy because she was Harry Osborn's assistant in that movie.
Oh, first of all, that Harry Osborn.
Dan DeHaan look, that movie was filled with good actors and bad writing.
Pete.
Stop.
That's gotta bother me.
That movie was filled with good actors and bad writing.
Which one was worse for you? Him or Lex?
Wait, whoa, say it again?
Which one was worse for you, him or Lex Luthor?
It gotta be Lex, because isn't Lex your favorite villain?
Yeah, it's just there's nothing until there's some words. Just as where it takes that for me, and you just ruined that for me.
Cherry. I remember being in a car with you as you were mad about that. You cursing up a storm.
He was so upset.
Like, how the fuck this is not him? Like, okay, my bad.
Hey man, that's that passion, man.
Yeah, it was passion. And and then we had, after that scene, we get another most Peter Parker thing. The most Peter Parker thing he has done in the home series, which was say, look, make everyone forget about me. If this is going to help make everyone forget about me, it'll be okay. Dr. Strange's like, you sure? Like it will be like as you never existed. He'd be like,
you know one thing I hate? I'm sorry to cut you off. You know what? Ladies first.
I was just going to say that Doctor Strange was just throwing in there, hey, it'll make all of us, all the people that love you, sir, I don't want to lose my memory of you.
Yeah, I like that. Doctor Strange just has a heart his heart grows in every movie, and I love his progression. Miss Amy?
I hate when people do this. I hate when there's an impossible situation. You know it's an impossible situation. You know there's only one way out. And you ask me, are you sure?
That was the weird thing, because of all the people in this movie that know what was going to happen, it was you.
I think it was also just like just him being like, as what Shorty B said, is like, I don't want to forget you, but like I know this is the only way.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah, it's like I know this is the only way, but man, I like you, kid. It was like that. It looked like Q wanted to say something. I wasn't sure.
No, I'm good. Okay. I'm good.
I saw you come off on mute.
So that to me is wild. So I'm like, so does dude who played him on Broadway lose his job, and all the Avenger posters with Spider-Man disappear? And
so I
think about that.
Spider-Man exists. It's Peter that don't exist.
So that doesn't make I'm confused.
Like,
no, they made everyone just forget who Peter Parker is.
But they
don't know who. They didn't know Peter Parker was Spider-Man, so therefore they still have the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Right. Like, Spider-Man is still a thing. It's Peter Parker that, quote unquote, don't exist in this universe that no one knows of.
So I'm like, and that, because I was just like, I guess that's kind of why they alluded to. I guess we should get through this first. I'll come back to what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually curious of what he was about to say now, but yeah, that pretty much everyone forgets. Peter says his goodbyes, of course. MJ is like, well, we got to fix this. We can fix this. I don't want to lose you. And Tom Holland, he's like, look, I know, like, I still like diversity. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll still love black women, but we can't do this right now.
What you mean, stupid, bro? You know what, bro? Look, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it because Spider-Man 4. I had this feel that this white girl will come up, and I'll just be like, you know what? You can't just drop the two sisters and be like, you know what?
He was like, I couldn't make it work with them. Things just kept falling apart. So
and you know what? No. It'll be the thing, like, and all of a sudden, that be the one that he get married. That'd be the one that we point out Spider-Man married comics. I'm like, oh, get the fuck out.
This is how it's gonna happen. The next woman is going to be white, and it's going to be Black Cat. That way, he knows white women are toxic, and he's going to have that image. He's like, I need to go back. I can't do this.
Man, look.
No, that would make sense because his MJ. He's not going to leave his MJ, but Black Cat's just a fling, and then he can't do it. That's too much to deal with. Let it be a white woman.
And then with him being alone, he like, I need something. I need someone. I just want someone to hold me.
Like, you had it twice over.
He got his new comfy suit to hold him.
So after that, everyone forgets who he is. He goes to Aunt May's burial, and Happy is just sitting there. Is like, how did you know her? And I'm just like, oh no.
Look, I get it, but I don't. But I don't get it.
I don't. Okay.
I don't like it.
I'm not a fan of this part because it's like, okay, so I'm not really sure how much all of this makes sense. It's because it's just like, go ahead.
The whole issue was that everyone knew. The whole issue was that everyone knew he was Peter Parker with Spider-Man. So now, when you erase Peter Parker, it kind of just goes back to what his life was when he was hiding that secret from everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, and I feel that, but again, it's like you've wiped it so nobody knows that you're Peter Parker at all. But I'm like, all right, so did May just not have a nephew now? Like,
I think so. I think it's like
that's
that.
Why I'm just like,
that's where, yeah. That's why, and there's like, oh, I met him through Spider-Man. And it's now like, where Spider-Man is now this entity, in a way, to these people. Where it's like, I don't remember exactly how, but I know Spider-Man was involved.
Because it kind of gives the illusion now where he gets kind of looking at them happier and like doing their life. And it's kind of, he has the faith of their lives are better without me at all. So let me guess.
Oh, it's just
not
weird.
even giving a name.
So that just completely wiped out like his whole life. Like he don't got a social security number. Because that's what I was going to say earlier. So he's unpacking and it's showing a GED book. I like, so.
I think he still exists. In this
that doesn't make sense then.
It's kind of like him faking his death.
It's like, I wouldn't say that. It's like,
no,
I mean, honestly, what she's saying is, go ahead.
Because he's unknown again. It's like what Fury did.
It doesn't like it really does sound closest to somebody faking their death and then still just being hidden in plain sight kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the way this was done, it seems like he never existed before. Like he was never born, and then all of a sudden he just popped up into the world as a 17-year-old. Like it just was.
Right, I see what you mean.
It's weird. I'm like, so I don't know. And did y'all peep that they covered up Aunt May's birth year? I guess so they would never have to address the fact that she wasn't old.
Like I did not.
The comics. Did y'all didn't peep? Because it's kind of like how they slid it in with Nick Fury, where they put the little quote from Pulp Fiction on there. If you go watch it again, they don't show you Aunt May's birth year or death year.
I didn't peep that. I know someone I knew was mad that she wasn't next to Uncle Ben, and I'm like, I have family members that passed away that aren't next to each other, so this is not out of the norm.
Yeah, it's not like somebody had her will and it was like, all right, well, she's supposed to be in this plot because if Peter don't exist and she had to get buried. Who finna bury her?
I'm about to say, if we try to get into real ramifications, it really don't make sense.
It don't.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
Like I was like, that's such a nitpick. Like
It is.
I'm trying to compare it to something because it's kind of like I've seen like other animated movies where like someone's personality gets erased from people's memories, and it kind of gets they have those pictures and like the person in the picture and it just kind of disappear, but the picture remains the same. Like everything happened around a person, but it wasn't the person that they all knew, that was there. I lost the way I was doing this.
I see what you're saying, but yeah, the whole death, the fake to death thing makes more sense. Than that probably makes the most sense than anything.
Look, I get it. Trust me, I'm gonna say it one more time. I get it. I just don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why don't you like it?
One, I don't like. Okay, minus all the jokes, I don't like that we finally getting to crack into what MJ's character is. Mm-hmm. We finally get to see emotional. She has been the same bored of somebody. They say the shot is a day. I'm talking about the character MJ.
Yeah,
has been nothing in the past two movies. She finally tries to be fortunate and give a Peter and all that stuff in the second movie, but it doesn't truly go there. I don't really sense her emotion and like she even changed her whole quote about saying if you expect disaster, disappointment, so that I was like, I'm feeling it. I'm with that, and him in there, I'm just like, okay, it's the best friend thing. I was like, but as soon as he says I'm gonna come back and find him, like he's not gonna do that.
That's not gonna happen.
He's not.
How do you work up to like? How do you get all of that back that you worked all this time for? Because it wasn't even about. It was never about you being Spider-Man. They just found out you was Spider-Man like 2 weeks ago. They was your friends before that. I'm like, it was just
like you losing two great people in your life all because of the Spider-Man norm. I don't like that. I get everybody Spider-Man, his story is shit. His life is trash. He's not supposed to be doing this because he's always Spider-Man. I'm like, I get it. But what did I just say out earlier about when Andrew Garfield said, or Peter 3 said, I pull my punches. I like stuff that's outside the norm. I was like, I'm not saying him and MJ gotta get married or even exist or last, but I'm saying, but this man all of a sudden went from relying on everybody to having nobody in damn near the same day to try to figure this whole thing out. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it, but I get it. I just don't like it.
Okay.
And I'm just like, I'm confused as to. So this whole thing, the whole.
Well, I think they can. I think it makes sense for what they plan on doing on Spider-Man 4. That's what I think.
That's what I'm saying. So I get it.
So it was just like, listen, the Green Goblin foreshadowed this whole thing with the, your actions have consequences kind of thing. So all the stuff you did, you still have to sit and watch all of it happen, but you're just not a part of it. It's just like, it's really weird, I guess, because I guess they're wiping his identity, like you said, and not the entity of Spider-Man. So like, Aunt May got killed because Spider-Man was around. They just don't know that he was Spider-Man kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. I guess because it makes sense for, how before they gave up the time stone, you could just rewind and stuff would not have happened. And it's like, you remember that it happened, but they had to go back and fix it. This time it's like, no, we're not going to fix it. I don't have the time stone anymore. You have to live with everything that you set forth here, but you got to watch it happen. So I'm just like, so how did they get into...
I'm just mad that this is the way that they had to send the other villains back. Or the people that do Peter Parker. Because why am I walking around New York and everybody knows who each Avengers is?
Exactly.
Hawkeye is going to Broadway to watch the Avengers Broadway show.
I can do this.
Okay? Everybody knows who Tony Stark is. You got Mark Ruffalo's weird lip Hulk going into coffee shops and taking pictures with kids. Yes, and eating breakfast. This is what they do. This is like the Fantastic Four. They know who the Fantastic Four is. The only things that Marvel people are scared of are the mutants, which are the X-Men. We're not there yet. So why does he got to go and suffer through this shit? And everybody, like, because we had to close, and everybody knows Peter Parker, we had to keep them from coming in. That's the part I didn't like. I get it.
I think with Peter Parker, it makes the most sense because he is the least likely to have. How can I put this? Like, Tony will figure out a way to stop everything. We know that. Hawk, I don't think anyone's going to try to come at him and attack him. Whereas Spider-Man, he has so much around him, and he's still a kid. Whereas, like, this one impacts his life a lot more than people who have already have their life together.
And also, all of these, he said all the villains are coming because they are coming for Peter Parker. Wouldn't it have made sense that they wiped all the Peter Parkers?
What do you mean wiped?
He's like, no, everybody's coming here because they think I'm Peter Parker. Because they know I'm Peter Parker and they're looking for him. Like, everybody that knew that he was Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
So are you saying are all the other Peters, like, would they count as being erased and forgotten too?
Yeah, like, wouldn't it make more sense if it was all of them?
The whole thing was, I think, because the whole issue started because Peter tried to stop it in this universe, like in this city. So when Strange casted the spell, he cast it in the Quins for that universe.
Yeah, I think it's only strictly for this universe because he even tried to make specific when he was trying to redo the spell. He was trying to make it specific. It was like, okay, Ned is not supposed to know, or MJ is not, or I'm sorry, Ned is supposed to know, MJ is supposed to know, May is supposed to know. It was like that. So I think this spell is only for this universe.
So are we going to get to the stuff we didn't like? Or
I was going to just end the whole movie with So yeah, he goes to the coffee shop, tries to talk to MJ, realizes she's hurt, and he thinks it's like, oh, she's only hurt because of me. So I don't want to bring danger back into their lives anymore. And he doesn't tell her. He's better than me because I would have been sitting there crying, snotting, throwing up. It's me! Come on, you got to remember, it's me! Zendaya, please.
You're the soft boy, that's why.
Yeah, you're damn right. I'll be soft for Zendaya any day. I'm telling you, the moment Tom Holland's finger slips off of Zendaya, I'm stealing her.
Oh, God.
Can
I just say, am I the only one who was afraid that it was going to be some weird shit? Like, Ned came in and she was like, hey, and she would come behind the counter and like kiss him or something.
I did too. Okay, I did too. I'm glad they didn't do that. Yep. I was worried about that.
Do this.
Because y'all would have heard the voice, I'd have been like, get the fuck out of here.
Yo, I would like, no, stop. This is not, because the Peter wouldn't have been pulling his punches.
Glad they didn't do that, bro. I was like, yo, because when she said, hey, all happy, I was like, yo.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. Please don't do that.
Don't do this.
Just give him the donut and leave.
I think, okay, so this is where the whole Peter fading reminded me of like those movies where like the person fades from the picture, because MJ's still wearing the broken Black Dahlia necklace that he got her.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, so she's still wearing that necklace, and like their friendship is so much closer because part of their friendship, her and Ned's friendship became close because of Peter. So that's that's all I just wanted to throw in there.
We also ended. He gets his own apartment, and he's pretty much on square one. This is like
that apartment was definitely given. Don't get in an elevator. It's a death trap. Coming to America vibes.
Yo, like, what is the rent in MCU New York? Because I'm like, how is Peter
probably regular New York rent?
It's probably regular New York rent, but the insurance high as shit.
Do you think they got like a potential like an otherworldly disaster discount in certain areas?
I would say unworldly. I'll say like worldly disasters, but outerworldly, I think it's too much.
No, they have
all the rent control apartments is in the formerly beat up places.
They should have. They will probably have otherworldly disaster because they commemorate the Battle of New York from the alien invasion.
Okay. That's true. That's true. Anyway, let's get into things that we didn't like in this movie. I'll start with Mr. A&E.
Of course.
Tag.
Okay, so this is a it probably is a nitpick, but this is one of the things that I was like, okay. And once again, people, I want to say this before y'all come at me. I get it.
We understand you. So
here's the thing. I was a little upset because I was like, I don't like the whole. I wanted it to be like a Sinister Six movie.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be like, if they're going to bring all these villains out, I wanted it to be that this is a situation that he needs help for. So in other words, that the whole clearing his name, I thought that was going to be the basis of the movie because that's the way it ended. Mm-hmm. I did not think Mysterio was really dead because I felt as though that while he is dealing with trying to clear his name, Mysterio will find a way to go and get these other villains in the other universe to create the Sinister Six, the MCU version. It wouldn't be the actual Sinister Six because, Lizard and it's not really part of that sometimes, whatever case may be. But that's what I figured that was going to happen. We was going to get Jake Gyllenhaal back, not in the biggest role, but we would have Mysterio, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Electro, Sandman, Lizard.
I thought the same thing, and I would have liked that if Jake Gyllenhaal played the mess out of him, and it's just he'd be like the recurring villain.
Exactly. So it's to the point where I could go off and do my own special thing, and Spider-Man has to focus on clearing his name. Like that should have been a big thing. And I'm not saying it has to be the whole movie, but it has to be the basis of the movie.
Right.
And why he's doing that. So now in the background, there's a Sinister Six here. Peter knowing like, look, y'all may hate me, whatever the case may be, I still have a responsibility. And he tries to go deal with them himself. And we get that whole amazing the Spider-Man PS4 scene. Like they all towering over him like, yo, we kicked his ass.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just like, yo, we gotta find him some help. Mm. Enter in Toby, enter in Andrew Garfield. Then we get Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six in the background. But even with that, even with some kind of sacrifice being made, I don't know what sacrifice would have been made. Like trigger the movie a little bit. That's what the public opinion. Because no matter if you win a court case by legally, a public opinion, the court of public opinion, seeing him either sacrifice himself or make a sacrifice to help save them from this elite team of villains. That's how I thought the movie was going to go. That's why I said people don't like the Lizard because of the way he's been treated. Mm-hmm. People don't like the Sandman because the way he's been written, the way he's been treated. I'm like, if this was like a Sinister Six type thing, and I'm like, oh snap, and you realize Mysterio played everybody, because now that whole Mysterio, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, and the whole clear his name thing, they really got rid of that in the first 15 minutes. None of that matters anymore. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that was a good, the way that Far From Home ended, I was like, yo, I can't wait to see how Spider-Man did. How is he going to get out of this shit?
Right.
And that is one of the pet peeves I have when it comes to Marvel and when it comes to their story risk. People, I know Marvel takes risks. We get it. They took a risk with Avengers and it worked. The risk I'm talking about is what they do. They are very ambitious story, right? And I'm still stuck on if Sylvie killed Kang in Loki, right? Mm-hmm. That event needs to carry over to everything. Same thing when Thanos snapped in Infinity War. That event carried into everything. Mm-hmm. That affected everything. TV shows, movies, everything that was part of the MCU. That I didn't feel like when that thing is ruptured, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get that's how all these other villains come in, because people may think, well, how's Mysterio going to get him in there? I'm like, bruh, the whole thing is ruptured now. The whole multiverse is colliding almost on itself. But that's why I did agree with you when you said the movie is cool to be simplistic because it's like a Spider-Man movie. I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. I can't argue with that. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to, but I'm like, if you want to be ambitious as hell and try something crazy and a risk of doing something like that, I'm like, because honestly, and then they do the same shit over. Sony says we are working on Sinister Six movie. Kevin Feige said down the line, I'm like, they've been talking about Sinister Six since 2007. It is 2021, and the closest thing we got to Sinister Six is in the Spider-Man game. I'm sorry, I want to see that. I want to see that live action. It's the closest that we got, but it's like now it's already been done. Now it's not going to have the same feel again. Mm-hmm. Having those different villains from the different movie universes that we didn't even know was going to cross over with Marvel. It's like a once in a lifetime type thing. Sitting with the Avengers, it's a once in a lifetime type thing. And once it's done, it's done. And I'm like, you can make a Sony Sinister Six, or you can make a MCU Sinister Six, but it ain't gonna be the same. Now, like if they wanted to go in that route, that's kind of where my bag came from. Okay. And then of course, at the end, I was like, I don't like that the way it's like okay, the multiverse is imploding. Everybody knows Peter's coming through. I'm just like, this is a whole event. I know they're gonna talk more about it on Doctor Strange, but that big event, if Kane's supposed to be the next one, right? Mm-hmm. As of right now, I know we talk about Phase 4, it feels small to me.
Now, this movie technically was supposed to happen before Loki.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, this was supposed to come out last year, but because of the pandemic.
Gotcha.
But no, everything you said made perfect sense. I 100% agree with everything you said. Wait, what'd you say, Shorty B?
I said, I'm just saying, like, confirming that in the timeline it's before Loki.
Yeah, this movie is before Loki.
And so I think I didn't know that.
No, it's confusing now because of that 1 year we had off. Which I'm trying to put the pieces together. Because I'm not sure if this Christmas is along with Hawkeye's Christmas. I'm going to just assume it is.
Like in the movie?
Yeah.
I think it is because they were talking, because there's been like nods to Rogers, because the first original trailer of No Way Home didn't have Rogers the Musical until Hawkeye came out. And then you rewind the trailer and Rogers the Musical billboards are in there.
Okay. Gotcha. But no, I 100% agree with what you said with the Sinister Six. Like, I feel like if it was going to be done over again, it wasn't even really 6 in this movie, but
it was 5.
Yeah,
that's why I thought Mysterio was coming back.
Right. And
it was 4.5.
Yeah.
Even with this trailer,
yeah, right.
Even with this,
they said the 6 is They were talking about. I literally just seen an article talking about the secret 6 member was revealed in the end credits.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Yeah,
that doesn't count.
Apparently it does. But
I would say if they were to do crap, I lost my thought.
If they were to do Sinister Six,
no, I completely lost it.
Oh,
it was something completely different. I lost it. But no, you're absolutely right. If they're going to do a Sinister Six, it's not going to be the same because this has been done. The only difference is Peter is most likely going to have to handle it by himself. Either if he's going to handle it by
too, because
the only way I could see it being different if he has the symbiote fighting him.
Which we don't know what they're going to do since we now have the symbiote in the MCU.
Yeah. I'll get to the post-credit scene after we get our cons out the way. Lady Sketch, or were you finished, Mr. Annie?
Yeah, I was done.
Okay.
That's my main grip I had.
Yeah, no, totally. That was very valid. I didn't think about it until you said it, so thanks for that. Lady Sketch.
All right, now y'all might think I'm completely tripping here, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel like all of this was for nothing.
Ooh. all.
No, I'm curious.
I can see why you feel like that.
I'm curious.
It's like, okay, so we confirmed when they were in the quote unquote Cave of Wonders that that they flashed there from the moment they died. So what would make me think that they are not going to flash back when they are dying?
I think it was more of them having their redemption before they die.
That's stupid.
That's what May was trying to tell him. You can help anyone.
Like I mean, I feel like if you wanted, like, how can I put this? Before you die, I feel like everyone should have a chance to try to redeem themselves. I think that's what Peter was trying to do. Well, that is what Peter did.
So basically, Peter was trying to make sure y'all found the Lord before you went to your watery or electrifying or
pretty much
graves.
Yeah, pretty much.
For what?
That's literally
you killed your aunt for what?
Damn. I mean, either way, it's a very Peter Parker thing to even try to help. Like, he sees the good in all people.
That's
nice. He's going to try to help.
However, this is my thing, right? So you did all of this. You lost your girlfriend. You lost your best friend. You lost your Avenger friends. You are literally alone in this world. Don't even have a high school diploma at this point. Mm-hmm. But all of that was because you wanted these people to be like, oh, man, I'm a good person now. And then they flash back to the place where they were, and so they can die a good person. I think, like, think about this. Imagine you are about to, I don't know, get stabbed or shot or something. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, you are removed from your body. And you're the bad guy. You were in a fight with somebody, and they was about to get the best of you. Somebody takes you out of that moment, shows you a better way, and then it's like, all right, now when you go back, you're going to be a good person. So you're not going to understand why you're about to die.
She got a point.
No, I get your point. It's like, this is still a Peter Parker thing to do.
I understand that part of it, but it just makes it feel like this is all for no. If they had not told us that they flashed from the moment that they were dying, mm-hmm. then it would have made more. Especially because I can't remember. Uh-huh. I might be tripping, but Doc Ock knew it was Peter right before he was about to kill him anyway, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he had a moment of clarity anyway, right?
A small moment of clarity, yeah.
So it's just like, this whole thing to me, it's like this all seemed very redundant.
Okay.
And also, I will agree, because I wasn't really in the room when y'all was talking about the if y'all went through the introductions, but I didn't like that either.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was just like, it felt weird because it's like, all right, so Doc Ock gets a whole thing. Everybody had to share, like how it said it confirmed the secondary villains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was just like, I say confirmed because you told us when they came in who were the people who mattered. Yeah, it was like Doc Ock gets this big scene, and it's like, so, but Green Goblin ended up being a big part of this and barely got anything, like, for real. And then Electro is he has this big scene. He come back looking like 2019 The Rock in a G.I. Joe outfit. And then Sandman is the wingman. And then there's Lizard. Like, it was just like, okay. Like, we could, what it reminds me of? You know how when a match is coming on, when you're watching wrestling, the match is coming on, and they're like, we'll be right back. And then you come back, and 4 people in the ring, they didn't get no introduction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No better rules, kid.
Now, what would be a good Green Goblin entrance for y'all?
Would Jamie go first?
Oh, I don't, because I don't know enough to formulate an entire scene for you. So you go right on ahead.
Me personally, I think is what she said has a point. That's why I was like, I'd rather have the basis of the movie is to clear my name, not clear the souls. So that's kind of
let me cleanse your soul before you go back and die. Oh, also pause. Can I pause just one second?
Sure.
Wouldn't you think that the biggest introduction into the movie, like they figured out after they got trapped that they was about to die? The only person in this movie who we know for sure was dead got 20 seconds of an intro for real. My man literally rose from the dead to come here. I'm confused.
Rose from the dead. I mean,
look.
I'm sorry.
I'm letting y'all go ahead because I just wanted to hear it and I'll like give my opinion.
They did what they thought was best. I think.
Here's the thing.
Because it's like, or that could also be with, like contract. Because Alfred Molina was like, I'm here for money. He got screen time for the money. So I don't know. I think, or it could be like what they plan for other characters. Like, what do we see? Alfred Molina's Doc Ock again somehow.
I'm gonna do this. Spider-Man, because we're gonna go where it ranks and everything. It was a fantastic movie. I want to get out the way first.
Yeah, it was great. I didn't.
I'm sure we all think it's great. I'm really curious on like what.
But this is what I do want to say though, because Mike told me about The Man in the Mirror, and I'm gonna be the one to do that. There's a lot of superhero movies that I loved, but I see the problems in it because the problems is a cheap pop. You asked Q this question a while ago. You said, would you want a good Spider-Man movie, or would you rather have a mediocre Spider-Man movie with, all the guest spots in it, right? I think that's how the question went.
Yeah. Would you rather have an excellent Spider-Man movie with no Tobey Maguire and an excellent Spider-Man movie with the Sinister Six, no Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, or a good Spider-Man or okay Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield in it?
That's the thing. I would like the excellent Spider-Man movie because this is going to be a look-back film. And when you look back on it maybe 5-6 years from now, I'm just like, man, see, you create a very ambitious thing that I don't know if you can top or you can replicate in any of that. And right now we all live, it's like, God, maybe it should have went the other way because that's just how I was feeling. But to answer your question about the Green Goblin, I felt as though that I don't think you should have showed him on the bridge, period. I don't. Green Goblin is Spider-Man's Joker. We, especially you being a Spider-Man guy, that's we all know that. And I felt as though with the whole pumpkin coming, and then he's coming in the old classic suit, and then we just get Doctor Strange away. I was like, that cheapens the whole moment. And then now,
how does that cheapen the moment for you?
For me,
yeah,
because he's there, he's going to attack Peter, but then the next scene I see him is that now he's hiding out in the alleyway, and it's got like he's having a debate with himself. And I'm like, I kind of wanted to see an introduction of maybe Green Goblin is probably the one on the bridge. You hear that evil after the pumpkin comes out, that he comes, and it's just like, all right, round 2, Spider-Man, because like I said, he got killed. So round 2, we doing this again because he's so damn crazy. He don't know what the fuck went on. Then Tom Holland kicks his ass to the point where it's like, let me give you a snapback of realization. Norman's like, what am I doing here? What's happening? What? Huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
Yeah. And I'm saying, it's like, okay. And to help me give some clarity of, it's like, all of a sudden they just panned to him in the alleyway. And I was like, I don't know. It just felt cheaper to me. Was it cool by fan service? Yeah, it was cool. I'm never going to say it wasn't. it's cool to see original Green Goblin come back in there, but I felt that he, as Willem Dafoe, he as Green Goblin deserved more. At least for the introduction, he got the whole part of being crazy as hell and doing stuff in the movie, and then a callback to the whole, comic book suit. But I was like, when it just came to the introduction, I'm not saying it's wrong. Mm-hmm. I just felt that I don't know what I would have written, but I would have handled it better for me. I wouldn't want just Doctor Strange zoom out when Green Goblin's coming on. I'm getting hyped, and the blood really boiling there.
Right. To rebuttal that, the reason why I like the scene with Green Goblin entrance is because it was shrouded in a lot of mystery for Peter. He doesn't know who any of these villains are. He sees someone looking evil with a glider coming at him. He hasn't seen his face, so it makes sense for him to just see Norman at the feast as a crazy person. Mm-hmm. Just to see that thing coming at you, towards you, after you already defeated the villain. You barely have a suit anymore. Piece of your part of your chest is already on Dr. Octopus. So not only do you have to contain him, but you also have to try to figure out what this is. And to him to just get out of that, I personally don't think Tom Holland at that moment could not handle it.
So I don't like that Goblin was introduced on the bridge. Because it's literally because like you said, it's only you see the pumpkin bomb and then the glider's coming at him. It's literally a second, and it's only there for fan service. I would have probably, from a writing point of view, would have liked it gets better if that scene in the alleyway was the first time we saw Norman.
I agree with you on that.
1,000%
on that one.
Because I think that would have set up so much better for Goblin taking over in the end.
Okay.
Because that you would feel the betrayal that you could see in Tom Holland's Peter's eyes.
Right.
At the end, because he's already going into this notion that Norman, he has the Goblin, whatever. Like that's what he is. That's his villain thing. That's his shtick. But it would have made it 10 times better in a storyline purpose if he's helping this guy out. He's like, this is how we can redeem it. We can figure out what's wrong. We can cure it. He'll be better. And then he's built up this friendship and everything. And then the Goblin switch clicks. And then it hurts more when Goblin kills May.
That, and I personally think that it also would have added to that as well if he just goes in there and he seems like an old man who's really confused, and then he takes him over to Doctor Strange's, and Doc Ock turns around and says,
Osborn,
he dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is happening here? He is dead. And he would bro, I can't use my arms. I'm freaking out because I can't attack him right now. He a ghost. Mm-hmm. And you standing here with a ghost. That was crazy. Mm-hmm. But but at that point, he's already endeared to him, because all he knows is that he is lost and something is not right. Not, so you're the dude I seen on the bridge, but you crazy though. That changes the dynamic of it.
Right.
Yeah. Shorty B, I 1,000% agree with you on that one.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Cause I wasn't really.
That was one of the things that was bothering me.
I wasn't really understanding your Mr. A&E's opening scene for Green. I don't think a fight would have been necessary right at that moment, but taking out that whole Goblin on the bridge at all would make more sense.
It felt like I was on a 4D ride at a theme park.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, fan service ride. It's like, here come Great Goblin, buckle up, and I would have buckled up too.
Shorty B, I'll go. Nina, did you? I'm sorry, Lady Sketch. Did you finish on the things you dislike?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. Anything else that I didn't like it's like something small, especially compared to like this whole the plot, the whole premise is
we
like
talk about Eternals, we talk about Spiderman
here.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it. It was cool. Just
Shorty B, your perspective or things
besides
you
the
didn't
whole besides the whole goblin scene thing, because me as a writer that was bothering me, but also on the board of plot wise, when you go back to how the whole plot was concise, like it was 2 movies in one. It was the how do we figure out how do we deal with as the whole everyone knowing me, and then that whole arc, but them condensing it so they kind of squeeze an hour of a movie into 15 minutes. And kind of rushed because they just wanted to get all the intros in to all the new characters that's going to be in it. So it felt very rushed and very forced. I felt like I was going through a lot very quickly. And then you got the second movie, which is the Peters versus the Sinister, the Fearsome 4.5. So it just felt like they were trying to do a lot in such a concise amount of time, and I felt like I was being swung every which way. I felt like MJ in the beginning.
Okay.
Throughout the whole movie.
Gotcha. Flo.
That's just a pacing.
My bad. Was that?
Oh yeah, that's good. It's just like a pacing thing.
Flo the rookie.
I mean,
I loved everything.
No, not really. You guys tackled everything. So I don't want to sound like a broken record. You guys tackled everything. So I'm good. Nothing more.
I mentioned the continuity errors with like Electro, some things like that. Certain characters not getting certain characters being pointless in the plot. Pacing is actually one thing I was going to bring up because it was like certain scenes were very fast. And then it dramatically slowed down, and then it picked back up.
You mean like that scene where Lizard was running after Ned and MJ? That went by in a blink of an eye.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because this is okay. I guess the nitpick, whatever case may be, Andrew Garfield, Peter 3, saving MJ was great. Andrew Garfield sold that when he was holding her. I felt the emotion and the pain. It happened too fast.
I think that was the right amount of time.
Like he grabbed it and just stood. I'm like, whoa!
I think that encapsulated the amount of panic that what's happening in that moment.
Right.
Because it all happened so quickly. It's like the whole thing's coming down. She's falling. It happens very quickly. Then that was like time slowed for her.
And then we got to think Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then time slowed for Tom's Peter. But then, you get the glider, and it was just like in the panic again. Andrew steps up, is the panic moment. So I think the pacing was great for that.
I also think the pacing was good for that because we got to think that is the actual speed of the fall that Gwen had. Also, that TASM 2 slowed that down dramatically. Whereas this was like, no, this has to be done quickly. And it was like, I can't fuck this up again. And like I said when I was talking about it, he not only learned from not shooting the web, he went down to get her and then bam, snapped there. Where the resolve of it was just, it wasn't too long because I didn't feel like that scene needed to be lingered on.
Gotcha.
But no, this pacing was kind of insane in this movie, especially the first half. Peter swinging through the subway, going to the house, everyone's around him, and then bam! All right, Matt Murdock, we're good. It was like, oh, can we? Let's get some time to explain for people who didn't see the previous movie. That's kind of the only gripes that I have, honestly. Now, post-credit scene, I was explained that Venom is multi-dimensional.
You're welcome. So someone pointed this out too, because the symbiote can cross his universe because the symbiote exists in all universes. So it's very conscious of its other universal selves.
Okay.
So Venom knows Peter Parker, but not Eddie Brock.
Okay. That was going to be a nitpick, but it was later explained to me that that. So thanks for that. Did y'all care about that post-credit scene?
I liked it.
I liked it.
I'm just glad Venom's here. That's all. I'm like,
it was the easiest way for them to just be like, yeah, Venom's in the MCU, because just have Eddie Brock in there like, why am I here? How did?
Yeah,
but Venom knows why they're there.
Right. But yeah,
I'm just scared. I'm just scared who's going to be Venom.
It's going to be Topher Grace. It's going to play.
If you know what I'm talking about.
I hope they pick someone good to play. And I remember the director. He was talking about Harry's going to be Venom. I prefer Eddie Brock. I prefer them to bring.
That's like the PlayStation version.
Yeah, but I just, because Oscorp technically don't quote unquote exist here, I would rather have an Eddie Brock than Harry.
But this is MCU. I mean, like, it could be Flash Thompson. It could be Ned.
See, I'm about to say, yeah, because that's someone I saw a theory about that too. I told you that's all my TikTok has been. I saw a theory about that too, since Ned doesn't know Peter anymore, so he doesn't have that familial.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kill you anymore. I don't want to kill you.
Yeah. That could have been a foreshadow. That would be crazy.
That could have been a foreshadow. That's why they dropped that thing in there to tell you, hey, I'm not going to turn against you.
As your friend,
and like try and kill you.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't know that. Peter remembers that.
Exactly. Yeah. That would actually. I would.
That would be a great. That'd be great though, because like you could see him fighting Ned as if he's the one who the symbiote takes over, and it's just Peter being like devastated because he's like, you said you wouldn't do this, but Ned doesn't know who he is.
The only way, because
Cap and Bucky all over again.
Yeah.
The only way I see it is because of course Venom has to get on Spider-Man first before he goes into Venom. If they do it right, which I believe Marvel will, he could capture the memories of Peter and then send it over to Ned. So yeah, I thought it was a cool post-credit scene, but let's talk about the second post-credit scene.
You mean the trailer we got?
Yeah.
Jesus. The trailer.
That now I also got spoiled on that.
I remember it was rumored they were going to show an entire trailer as a post-credit scene.
Honestly, I would rather Marvel do that. just show trailers on your post-credit scenes.
Honestly, maybe that'll be less theorizing.
So, when does this movie will take place? So, Spider-Man's before Loki, so this is after Loki.
Yeah, right? This is after Loki. This is after Loki, after WandaVision. I want to say parallel to What If.
I'm pretty sure Loki and WandaVision took place around the same time.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that theory where Wanda becoming the Scarlet Witch.
You're talking about when something about the threshold been broken.
Yeah.
It was when I don't think that was as so much of a theory though. I
don't know if that's officially confirmed. I would like it to be. That would make the most sense.
Yeah.
But so
it kind of just feels like the events of Loki begins in like the middle of No Way Home.
I don't even say the middle. I personally think it's the end. Like, well, after No Way Home. But how did y'all feel about the trailer for Doctor Strange 2?
I like that it gives nothing.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I'm not on the outstanding board.
I thought it was cool. I was like, okay, cool. And like, guys, just like, all right, that was mine.
It gives nothing away. It's like you can't go into this from the trailer having any kind of idea what's actually going to happen.
All you know is Wanda's here.
Wanda here. So is America Chavez.
Yeah, I'm glad that she's Miss America's going to be in it. I'm just confused on the story overall. And
I think because he goes to Wanda for help. You got America Chavez. You've got two Nexus beings.
Yeah, she did punch through a reality.
Exactly. You've got two Nexus beings, and then this is all happening after he did that spell, so the multiverse is cracking. Mm-hmm. So you need two Nexus beings to help repair a multiverse.
Right.
It felt too calm to me.
No, I can see what you mean.
You mean that Tyler Perry wig wasn't enough chaos for you?
You talking about Chiwetel?
Yes.
The only enemy, the only person that's a threat to this universe is you, Doctor Strange. I was like, my man gonna act his ass off.
Boy, you ain't heard nothing.
So my only thing is because they just did. They're still in the midst of doing the reshoots, and these reshoots are adding other cameos to set up for stuff that are happening later. So there's more. So there's possible changes to the story plot, but the trailer doesn't give away what everyone has already been assuming about Wanda being the villain.
I don't think Wanda will be a villain in this, personally. I don't have an explanation. I just don't think so.
I think this one... No, I think Wanda's gonna... I think we might get a villain side of Wanda, because Wanda has the whole... She has the book, and don't forget, she's still technically looking for her children. Mm-hmm. So, but dealing with Doctor Strange, I don't think Wanda, MCU Wanda, not yet, is aware of the fact that there are other universes that are parallel to the one she's on. So, dealing with Doctor Strange, she'll see those other universes, and then the thought of, I can find a universe where my children exist.
Mm-hmm. So you think
I feel like that
it's going to be selfish?
I feel like that evil Doctor Strange we saw is going to fuck around and be like a nightmare or something. And he just having a dream.
That's funny, because Nightmare is confirmed to be in this.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I part of me was like, is this what if Doctor Strange? Like, is this the what if Doctor Strange we saw?
Yeah, I think that's a theory too, yeah.
It looked like him.
But then that brings up the question of when, because we left what if Doctor Strange off in a pocket reality, holding a pocket reality. Mm-hmm. So and then have turned over a new leaf.
I just want some clarity.
You know, sometimes I like that the trailer didn't give us anything,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And because, like I said, I want to actually go into one of these movies and be surprised.
Right.
Yeah, I want to keep it this way.
I'll be okay if this is the only trailer we get. It won't, but yeah.
I wanted them to keep it that way, so we don't know what's going on, because knowing all the cameos and everything that was happening for No Way Home it diminished everything, the excitement of it going in, which I wish
they would have went internet.
Right? I wish they would have went what the original marketing was, which I think it only got changed because of leaks. But the original marketing was going to be done as like you were marketing as a civil war between Doctor Strange and Spiderman. None of the villains were going to be shown anywhere until you went to see the movie. That was the original marketing plan.
But Sony, they were like, all right, let's just throw it. We just want to make sure. But this movie is supposed to come out May 6, 2022. Also, this is quote unquote supposed to be the first horror Marvel movie. I didn't get that feel. I didn't get that feel from this trailer. So
I feel like and I like that. I like that. I have no idea what I'm going to get. And I feel like that's the only way to market a movie that's going to fully tackle what's happening with the multiverse cracking, is to make it so you have no clue, because you actually don't.
Look, honestly, I don't know why Marvel has not done this sooner, but Marvel like we just talked about the party yesterday. Marvel sells itself like WrestleMania sells itself.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where no matter what you show, you hear all the complaint on TikTok and Twitter and all that shit like that, they're going to come see the movie regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel sells it. If this was 2012, I get it. Okay, we just started. You know what I'm saying? But now the mega franchise that is the MCU, that all of a sudden every crossover trying to copy us, it sells itself. I don't need to know that this camera's going to be in this one, this is going to be in this one, this one. Mm-hmm. All I know is that Doctor Strange is fighting himself, and he got team up with Wanda, and we got to figure out what's going on with this multiverse. The end. That's all I need. I don't, and everything else surprised me. I don't need to see nothing else because see, if the cameos that people are talking about is true, that builds my ambitions too high.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my ambitions build too high, I get let down because like. People talk about something, this can open up the door for X-Men. I'm like, don't talk to me about the X-Men right now.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm already bitter. I'm already bitter about the X-Men. Please don't talk to me about the X-Men. Mm-hmm. Please do not talk to me about Fantastic Four. Just let it happen.
That's why I like trailers like this because these make it when it gives you so little, but also gives you so much because you can just theorize like, what could they possibly be doing next? When unlike trailers like we got for No Way Home, where it's like, okay, so we see this, so like we know exactly this person will be here, we know this person will be here, and then where they're gonna be. This at the third. So so many people guessed the whole plot in No Way Home before it came out because they had so much to work with.
I still think with No Way Home, we still got curved a little bit. The worst one was Civil War because we literally pieced together every scene and trailer together to get the whole movie.
Mm.
That was the worst marketed of Marvel.
Civil War, you said?
Yeah, because remember when you reacted to it? It was all the trailers put. No, it was just you. You did it. Oh. It was all the trailers put together, and it was literally the full chronological order of the movie. And I was like, what's the point of that? Why do I need to see this?
I mean, gotcha.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about the trailer showing too much. But yeah, overall rating for the movie. I'll start with.
I give it a complete nerdgasm.
Oh, okay, dang. Lady Sketch.
I'm gonna give it a B+, like a high B+, like 89.9 or something. But,
Okay. Shorty B.
I will also give it a nerdgasm.
Flo the Rookie.
I give it a damn near perfect.
All right, this is a nerdgasm for me. This was,
bro. All they had to say was Spiderman 3. Nerdgasm.
Now I'm gonna say this.
That college shit. Just tell it like it is.
I'm gonna say this. Now, how can I put this? Without nostalgia, it would not be a nerdgasm.
Absolutely.
So that's a lot riding on the review right now. It's because of nostalgia.